What's up, everybody? Welcome to another Xbox Alpha podcast with my Alpha brothers, ODT Reaper and DJ Tuckmaster Man. We're going to talk about a few topics today. There ain't really a ton of news today, but there is some things that Tuck probably wants to talk about. What's up, Smitty Smith in the house and Channel in the building? The first one's on deck. Welcome, guys. But yeah, we're going to just chop it up, man. Outer Zinc just made it too. What's up, Outer Zinc? Our brother Outer Zinc is in the building, guys. And we're just going to chop up game today, guys. There's not like a ton to talk about, really, so I want to introduce my gracious Alpha panel. So first, I want to start off with my brother ODT Reaper, man. Hey, what's up, T? Tell the people where they can find you, man.
You can always find me on Xbox Live, just chilling at Odo T Reaper. And that's pretty much it, because my Twitter and Instagram are bye-bye right now. So.
All right, cool. All right, next up is my brother, Tuckmaster. DJ Tuckmaster, man. Tell the people where they can find you, G.
Hello, everybody. This is your boy DJ Tuckmaster, 785, the original pony killer. I don't like ponies, and I hope the hell they don't like me because I don't like them worth a damn. You can reach me on Facebook. Of course, I didn't do a show today because, like my boy said, there's not that really that much to talk about. But I hope that I can talk about something next week. I got something really on my mind, but I'll hold that for next week. But now let's just get this ball rolling, man.
Well, hey, man. If you got something on your mind and you can't hold it in, you should speak your mind, brother.
Well, this is not dealing with gaming though. This is just dealing with everything that's going on with these gas prices and these food going up and all that shit. So that's for another day.
All right, well, we can save that, man. We can save that. But hey, shout out to the chat, man. Give a shout out to Channel in the building. My brother Smitty Smith is in the house, and also our brother from Exile, Outer Zinc, is in the building. So today, guys, I guess we're just going to talk about a couple things. Let's just talk about the one, honestly, really big thing, kinda, is there's developers, I believe, that are leaving the initiative. Like I think 34 of them, if I'm correct, and I think somebody from one of the developers that are helping to make Perfect Dark, and the trolls and the ponies are out here running with this. Oh, it's over for Xbox. Game ain't gonna never come out. Nothing, nothing's gonna come of the studios and different things like that. So, I want to start with you. Actually, let's start with Tuck, because Tuck, he usually has a lot to say about some of these things like this with the ponies going out here running, talking bull crap out here, thinking that we're always going to fail. So, Tuck, man, they're out here trying to run and say that, there's something wrong over there in the Xbox camp because developers are leaving. What are they going to do? And all this other bull crap, man. So, what do you have to say about it, Tuck?
You know what? This is what bothers the hell out of me. They did not even talk about this shit when I think what Sony lost 70% of the people that was working for Naughty Dog. I mean, they didn't even talk about that shit. I mean, they didn't mention that shit at all. I mean, they lost a lot of employees too. So, but we didn't talk about it because we know that games are gonna keep on going on regardless. Okay, regardless of what the hell you think. Okay, if the developers left, well, you talking about what, 34 developers out of what? Out of maybe like 300 or 500 employees that is still working with Microsoft, man, hey, you know what? Y'all need to get a life. Okay, if we don't even know when the game's coming out, we know the game is gonna come out, but we don't even know when the game is gonna come out. Right. We know the game's in progress. So y'all just need to just stop tripping. Stop tripping for no damn reason at all. And what you really need to worry about is your damn games. Just worry about your damn games and leave Microsoft alone. And Microsoft doing just fine. Okay, y'all are going to go over the top about y'all little ass pitiful ass games that's came in hours already came out, and are they going to have any more that's going to come out for the rest of this damn year? And I would say, and I'm talking about a good exclusive. I'm talking about triple A exclusive. Now, no indie exclusive that y'all always talk about y'all triple A exclusives and all that stuff. Y'all always talk about what Microsoft need to step up their damn game and all that stuff. Okay, what happened last year? Damn it, what happened last year? Microsoft embarrassed y'all ass in the last 5 months of the damn season, and y'all did not even have an exclusive that came out at the end of the damn year of last year. So to me, y'all, hey, these ponies, these so-called journalists and everything, talking that shit about all Microsoft is about to lose Perfect Dark. I was like, dude, please. How long has it been since we had a Perfect Dark? How long has it been?
Right.
So
And
we really,
it's been a
I mean,
long
so we
time.
really,
It's been a
I
long
mean,
time.
it's
The
been a
only
long
time,
time.
right? And we got when we had the rare collections games, it was on there. But those were from the 360 era, that were on there. But we haven't had a new IP from Perfect Dark. So you're right.
In a long time. So what is the big hoopla about? What is the big hoopla about? Okay. I mean, for myself, I never did play Perfect Dark. I mean, I did, but it wasn't my type of game. But I'm just saying, y'all,
Outer Zinc, if you want
Microsoft,
to join, brother, I could probably have Tuck send you a invite, man. If you're in the building and you want to join, I could probably have Tuck send you a link. Outer Zinc. Go ahead, Tuck.
I mean, but I'm just saying that when it comes down to it,
actually kill your high.
Microsoft just got it. Hey, dude, Microsoft got it going on.
Does it
Y'all
really?
still jealous of what
You there, Tuck? Tuck.
Good.
thing under control on that. Okay, if they bring it
Tuck's cutting in and out.
in and
Well,
out,
guys. Yeah. Hey, Tuck. You there?
yeah, I'm here. Let me go inside the house, and I'll be back.
Hey, Tuck. When you go inside the house, man, can you
Yes,
send
sir.
Outer Zinc a link when you go in the house?
Is Adam Zink on the Instagram?
I believe he is.
Can one of you send one to Unlimited as well?
I did send one to Unlimited.
All right, good. Just making sure.
Yep, I sent one.
Huh?
Are you back, Tuck? No, he'll be back. He said he's going in the house. There's Unlimited right here, right
Yeah,
now.
is he on our Instagram?
I think Outer Zinc's on Instagram. I'm gonna get my brother Unlimited in. What's up, Unlimited?
Hey, nothing much, man. What's up, fellas?
How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
What's going on with you, man? How's your week been? I'm sorry I missed the podcast. I was at work. I wanted to join bad too, but I was at work. I seen you and you and E-Rock putting in some work there.
Yeah. Tuck made it as well too.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a good show. It was a good show, man. But you know how it is. There's always something going on in this game community. Even when there ain't much news, they still try to give you something to talk about.
I know, man. I know. And I've been out of the loop a little bit. I've been paying attention a little bit. I know about the I guess some of the people leaving the initiative. I think like Tuck told me like 34 people leaving, and I
Yeah.
guess one of them was what was one of them working on Perfect Dark, right?
I guess a number of them were working on Perfect Dark, but it's not a big deal as they try to make it seem, in my opinion. They got Crystal Dynamics to help out with the development anyway,
Right.
and it's not like they stopped hiring when people left, and I don't. It's not like 34 people left on the same day and they going on strike or something. So So, yeah, this is something that don't mean much to me personally. I think Perfect Dark is still going to be fine. When it comes out, it's going to be a great game, and it's going to be another tip on the cap for those on Xbox and Game Pass, basically.
Yeah, and that's what and that's the thing. That's the thing, though. Unlimited. Every time something happens, it can be something like that. They're always waiting. They're waiting to always wait for something to happen, man. And then the next thing they're out there making videos about it and damage controlling it. Thinking that I guess they're thinking Microsoft Studios is going to fall to the wayside. There's not going to be no Perfect Dark. We're going to be boo-hooing and crying in a corner. You know what I mean? That's what they want to happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's funny because if they put this type of concern into their own brand, maybe they wouldn't be getting ripped off with Gran Turismo 7 right now.
That's true.
Yeah, and it's funny how all these reviewers was giving it 9s and 10s, and then a week later the same ones are all talking about how bad the game is. That's funny how that works out, isn't it?
Yeah,
they
right.
Want me to believe that these issues weren't in the game when they were reviewing it. Come on now, I call bullshit.
It's crazy, man. And then, but they're not talking about one of the big guys out there on YouTube right now. That MVG, I don't really pay too much attention to him unless he's talking about old school games and the tech and like emulators and different things like that. But he's very upset about Gran Turismo 7 because he said he's not even going to buy it because it has DRM in it. And he said DRM shouldn't be put into a single player game. You know what I mean? So when I watched the video about that, I was laughing my ass off because he's one of the biggest people that support Sony and and is down with the the Sony crew and all that. But when I was listening to his video, man, I was like, wow, he said it's definitely not a buy for him because he doesn't believe in that. He said there were people that couldn't even start their game, that they had to keep playing I think the tutorial or something inside of the Gran Turismo game. I was like, wow, that's crazy, dude.
I've never heard of that before, but okay.
That's what he was saying. He said that they couldn't play the game or something like that. And the DRM that's in the game, he said he's not going to buy it because he said he believes a single player game shouldn't have DRM in it. That's what he was saying on his video.
Oh, what game? What game, Sega man?
Gran Turismo 7.
Yeah. Oh man, that game was down for 30 hours. 30 hours due to maintenance, and nobody could play it.
30 hours?
Yeah, I kid you not. 30 hours.
Wow, dude. Yeah, that's I'm sorry, but that's another L they need to put under their hat, man. I mean, that's bad. I think that game all around is just I don't know. I think it's going to be just an utter failure, man. I mean, he said he's not even going to buy it. He said, I'm not buying it because he likes racing games, but he said it's a pass for him because of the DRM in it. And he said a lot of people couldn't play the game. They kept having to play either a demo or a tutorial that's in the game. Like they couldn't even go in and play the original game because of different things that were happening to that Unlimited. I was like, wow, that's crazy, man. I mean, they put out the patch later, right?
Yeah, that is crazy, man. And I'm in agreement, man. If you pay $70 for a game, it should be, you should have access to it. I get multiplayer only games, but those shouldn't be $70 if they were multiplayer only. But to not be able to access it at all, that's ridiculous. And rightfully so, it should be called out. I just find it funny that now they're calling it out after they did their reviews, after the Metacritic scores and all that other bullshit. And that's where I'm having my doubts that when they were reviewing it, they didn't know this really. I don't. If look, let me put it this way: if they didn't know this shit when they were reviewing it, then their reviews were pointless. If they didn't know, then they were lying to you. So either way, it's a lose-lose situation for these reviewers.
Right. And we got our brother that just joined us, man. My man, Outer Zinc. What's up, man?
Hey man, how's it going, guys?
How you
Hey
doing,
man,
brother?
I can't complain. Just a real life jumped in my way the last like 3 or 4 days, but it's real life jump in. All of us have issues. We have families, and I
Right.
have an aunt that's not doing well, an
Uh-huh.
ex that's not doing well, and part of my family have to go to Vegas because my family is massive.
Oh,
11 on
sorry
my
to hear
mother's
about that,
side,
brother.
17 on my dad's side. So it's just a bunch of niggas all over the country, right? But
Yeah.
it's still a close family. But we all go through it, man. But that's where people fall short at when they don't have an outlet to escape.
Yeah.
My outlet is racing games because I think calmly. When I'm violent, like E-Rock and myself, we choose violence 100% of the time. Then I go to Gears and saw a few
That's
people in
right.
half. But
Yeah.
we all go through it, man. But I'm glad to talk about some games to get away from reality. But
Well,
anyway,
Zinc,
go ahead.
my brother Zinc, man. I just want to get your opinion on this, brother. What do you think about the trolls out here? And I just got Unlimited was just telling me about the people leaving the initiative that were working on the perfect dart game. Now they're trying to, run with this now, brother. Oh,
Well,
what do you think, man?
Well, Unlimited is the diplomatic person, and he likes to give a civil sounding reason as to why something occurred within Microsoft. But E-Rock and I'll give you the vulgar reason. Man, those jokers got fired. You know what? He said, hey, 34 people's like, hey, you know what? I'm the boss here. That's what Gallagher was saying. It's like, hey, hold on, partner. I want this to be a collective thing, but you guys are creating factions here, this side against this side. Hey, this was the plan all along. If you read how the initiative was constructed, they were going to build a game, which in my profession, one of the things I used to do, I used to be a contractor, subcontractor. Hey, we read the blueprints from the architect and we erect this building. And all of the subcontractors, we do our part to this building, right? So that's all this was. This is like turn 10 um making Forza Horizon. They say, hey man, we have motorsport. Let's interview a few uh development houses and see who would be best suited. Bring them in, teach them our methodology, show them this blueprint, and have Playground Games build this world of this game. They could use our cars, et cetera, right?
Yeah.
It's the same difference. So Unlimited likes to say, and he's right about this too, about Colin Moriarty thinks he's smart. He's stupid. He uses big words, but he don't know shit. So all of these people saying how much Microsoft can't manage. Okay, an almost $3 trillion corporation doesn't know how to manage situations. Yet a corporation that's $2.1 trillion in debt does. Shut your stupid ass up. Okay.
Facts.
Now back to this. They're doing the same methodology as Turn 10. We've done this before. We have a great developer in Turn 10.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Playground, here's this blueprint. Build this world around these cars. We want to stick with motorsport. Okay. Build this. Have fun with it. Initiative. We're going to draw this blueprint. We're the architect. We're going to collectively have this blueprint and we're going to bring somebody on because we're small. We're going to bring somebody on to erect this building here. And that's what Crystal Dynamics is. And what a better, who's a better company? You have Laura Croft, okay? You have Joanna Dark, two iconic figures, put the best on it. So Daryl Gallagher is like, hey, we got 34 people here that's acting a fool. Let's get them all the hell out of here, bring in 330 developers, and make this great game. Period.
Yeah, man. I hear that, bro. I hear that, man. I hear that, man. 100%, brother. That's facts, man. But yeah, brother, man, when I heard about that zinc, I was like, man, I'm not even going to feed into all that shit, dude. You know what I mean? Like I said, they always got something to say about shit, man. I'm not even going to even feed into that, man. You know what I
Right.
mean?
And I even told a couple, I told a couple podcasters because they were alluding to falling into the trap. And I'm like, hey, man, I typed in the chat, I said, don't fall for this. Don't fall for this. And, E-Rock likes to bring up Kid Smooth. I tried to listen to his show last night. So I'm listening to this show late night, because I got in late because everything's going on. In fact, I'm going to have to leave here soon, I'm sure. But I'm listening to Kid Smooth show, and he is surrounded by some serious ponies, dude. And I mean, they over here talking about what has 343 done. Since everybody know the history of everything, all of these haters, look at how Bonnie Ross constructed 343. 343 was comprised of a who's who within the industry. I mean, people came from every top development house in this world. Okay, just look up anybody's site, and then most of them are Bungie original employees. There are more
Right.
original Bungie employees at
Right.
343 than at Bungie. Okay, so and these guys tried to say that 343 is mismanaged. You could say what you want. I love Halo to death. Halo 4 was the second best story. They forgot to mention how great Halo Wars 2 was. Another fantastic story.
Great. Yeah, it was a great.
You,
Very good.
People, I don't care what anybody say, people didn't like Halo 5 because of Locke's black ass. Okay? People hate to have a black guy in authority. They hated to have my daughter as a pitcher. That's an authoritative position. They hated to have my son as a pitcher. That's authoritative position. You can't lead. Go over there and do something else. So now Locke is just lead character and we hate him. No, man. They say they hate the story because the story is subjective, but you can't challenge that damn gunplay. And then they said MCC, Halo Master Chief Collection, was terrible. Well, the single player was fantastic. Okay. And then they tried to do something new with the online portion, and it didn't work right off. And 343 didn't even create the online portion of the game, but they didn't throw that company under the bus. They said, hey, relax, we'll fix this shit. But when Uncharted Collection launches without a multiplayer, everybody is cool with it. Oh, that was a great collection. Only single player, no enhancements or nothing. So man, people, I'm glad they brought it up because now you can see all of the haters out there, including Sega Man's boy Destin Legary. He threw his foot in the fire, hating hard. And then when like Unlimited was talking about Gran Turismo 7, when they got exposed for their macro transactions, he threw this fake hate video up left yesterday. He was laughing through the whole thing.
He did.
Is that not some bullshit?
That's fucked up. Yeah, that's bad right there. Yeah.
Well, fill me in, brother. What
I didn't watch what he said, but I saw the video go up. Yeah.
Did you see it, T Reaper?
No, I had a feeling he was doing it just for clout, because he had a clout video the day before. So I was like, I see the rhythm. The rhythm's right there.
Unlimited. Did you see it?
Nah, I ain't see it. But
What
Come
happened
on, people.
now? I didn't see it.
Tuck, you didn't see it either? Okay, it's all right, Tuck. I just watched Destin just to stay up on the news, right? Destin had this fake hate video about Gran Turismo 7 and its microtransactions, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it was so fake. He was trying to get mad and he was smiling through the whole thing. And then when he paused, he had to put his lipstick together. I know the dude wanted to start crying. It was so damn funny, man. I was laughing the whole time. Dude, this shit was hilarious. But he did post some excellent numbers that I'm going to use to bury the shit out of all fanboys everywhere. It's like to get one of the top cars in the game, you have to race 333 races over 17 hours to get one car.
Wow.
If you
Yeah, he
sell
knew
a-
that right off the bat. I listened to him say that. Yo, he said that right precisely, and I was like, how do you even want to know how many races you have to win just to get one achievement, my dude? Like, come on, man. I
Well,
want to know
that
how
was
many
so-
headshots I needed for my Crossfire, but like I needed to know everything how much I needed to do. So,
Well, you
not
know
just one
how
achievement.
well,
But he
T,
knew
you know
that
how-
right off the bat. Like he memorized that. That was like insane.
Yeah, that's because somebody said, sometimes, man, these people go in deep. So they factor how long, if I race this one race, then how many, then they got their unlimited production accounting out and did their multipliers. And they say, well, if I only get this amount of credit, now let's multiply this. I would have versus the points, the credits they give me, I would have to race 333 races. And it would take 17 hours because they multiplied the time it takes to do the one race just to get a freaking car. And to top it off, you can't, let's say you own a car and you know how you sell a car for credits on Forza and you can use those credits to buy another car.
Right. Yeah.
You can't buy shit with those credits.
Oh shit. What the hell are they there for then, Zing?
Hey man, I don't know. I was gonna ask y'all this shit, Ask Unlimited. He's the accountant. He know this shit.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, man, that was funny, dude. So
I guess I don't know, man. I guess that's just the outer fell, man. Gran Turismo 7. I don't know, bro. That's really bad too to have a single player racing game and have DRM in it. That's bad. I mean,
yeah.
That's bad, man. I mean, a lot of people are saying that they're not even gonna buy it now. Like that dude MVG, I don't really like him that much, but I happened to catch his video about it, and I was just like curious of what he had to say about it. And he said he's definitely not buying into Gran Turismo 7. He said he's like very disappointed for what Sony and them are doing with that racing game, man. I think I'm going to say and put that in the category of an epic fail. That's an epic fail, man. You know what I mean? So
I know that some of them are criticizing Sony on this, but for a lot of them it's clout criticism. They're
right,
only saying it because you can't avoid it, basically.
right.
Because if that news never came out, MBG, Destin Legary, none of them would have been saying any of this shit. They would
Yeah,
have kept their review that's 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10. They would have been talking shit on how it's better than Forza. Even though 5-year-old Forza Motorsport was blown it out the water, but that didn't matter. But since this came out and some things you can't ignore, now they're jumping on this bandwagon. So if MVG said that, I don't believe it. These people, he's one of those dudes who gladly pay $70 day one. I know he didn't wait and none of this shit on this bullshit. So
right.
it's all fake.
Man, that's crazy, man. But I was hearing some stuff about there ain't nothing going on with Starfield, right? It's all good. It'll still be coming out, right?
Yeah. Just your usual fear mongering. Basically, they're bitching that there's no gameplay, even though Bethesda said that they're going to show it in the summer, which they've been said that. But again, in this community, facts don't be mattering.
Right. Hey, but you did see that panel. It was 4 from Todd Howard and 3 other guys. They discussed Starfield for about 5 or 6 minutes and told us more about the game and the factions and things like that. But like we've been saying, they won't. They'll act like they never saw it.
Right.
Who does that remind me of?
Well, that's gonna be big. I can't wait to check that out, man. Starfield. That's gonna be real nice, man. And we just had more games coming to Game Pass, and I watched one of Unlimited's videos when I got a chance where he was talking about the $20 and under sale. You know what I mean? Pointing out some really good games in there, man. So. Man. Tunic. Now, did anybody play that yet? I started to play that, if I said it right, and what do you guys think of the game so far? If you guys have played it yet?
Yeah,
The one.
I'm enjoying what I'm playing so far. It's actually kind of tough and challenging too. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? It's
Mhm, I
one of
heard
those
that.
games that don't really tell you anything, so you just pretty much go around the world figuring it out.
Right.
And you pick up weapons like you could pick up like magic and all this other stuff. It's dope. It's dope. That's the type of game I don't play often, but
Yeah.
every once in a while it's cool to break away from my usual open world games and RPGs I play. So yeah, Tunic, man, Tunic. Oh, and the art style is really, really nice.
It looks good.
Impressed.
She
Yeah,
looks
I'm very impressed
more
with that art
of a
style.
German.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, everything don't have to be AAA budget to looking like Red Dead Redemption 2 to enjoy, and that's one of them games. I dug that art style, man. So yeah, Tunic is a dope little game.
So Unlimited. Then I'll go to the other brothers on the panel. Do you think it's like a Zelda, or do you think it's like a cross of like a Zelda? What's that game called? That's hard. I forgot the game. That's really hard. Not Elder
What does
Ring.
that look like? Here.
That one game that's really hard. Souls, Dark Souls. Is that it?
Demon Souls or something.
Demon Souls. Yeah. Is it? They say it's kind of hard. Now I didn't get to really the parts where it's really hard yet. Like I'm still just starting it out, and from what I've played so far of the game, it's pretty good. But they say it's pretty challenging too.
Yeah, it's challenging. I really wish people would stop saying every hard game is Dark Souls, because that just puts an image that the game plays a certain way when it's not like that.
Said about Elder Ring.
First of all, these Dark Souls games, they don't touch them late 80s and early 90s games in terms of difficulty.
Oh hell
Ninja Gate.
Yeah. So let's stop acting like Dark Souls is the pinnacle of difficulty. If you want to play difficult, go play the old Ninja Gaiden or hell, even something like the fucking Lion King from like '94.
Yeah.
Very true.
That game was so hard when they did the remaster. They had to cut the difficulty down because they knew nobody's gonna.
That's how Ninja Gaiden Black got created. Nobody could beat Ninja Gaiden but a few of us. So they made Ninja Gaiden Black, and if you die 3 times, you'll have this purple ribbon that you put around your wrist, and it made the game easier.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, Zink, I didn't know that, man. True speak the facts the game, man. I didn't even know that, brother. But yeah, like you said, those games were hard as balls, bro. I haven't even beat one yet.
I beat all of those bad boys.
Man, shouts out to Outer Zinc, because man, those bosses, right? When you're fighting you come up to a boss, his life bar is way across the TV screen. You have his little life bar.
Yeah.
Man.
You better be good by the time you get there.
Yeah, brother. Hats off to you, Outer Zinc, man, because I do go back now and then and try again. But I'm like, man, I can't beat this, man. One of them I did beat. The one on the 360, I beat that one. The Ninja Gaiden game on there, I did beat that one.
That's one of the reasons I respect Alana Pierce. I don't like some of her views most of the time.
Yeah.
But one of her resume points when she started working at IGN, she beat Ninja Gaiden on the hardest level. I was like, I could never do no shit like that. I said, that anybody beat Ninja Gaiden and you do it on that, you are a master of an action game. That has a jump button. Unlike God of War don't have no damn jump button. It's shit great.
Yeah, right. Hey, brother, we got a full house, man. We just had our brother Hebot join us, man.
Yeah.
Probably getting his mic situated.
Yeah, ask Hebot about that the initiative situation in Gran Turismo if he knows anything about that.
Yeah, because you know what, Zink, I knew like I caught bits and pieces of it during the week, like the initiative thing. And the Gran Turismo 7, man, that ever since that game first came out, dude, it was a fail. You know what I mean? First it was what was it, Zink? you gotta buy cars in there for $80 and shit and all that crazy shit, man.
Dude, $40, $70, $150. The most expensive cars, $200. And then you could
$200?
look, man. Hey, I like racing so much. I think I told y'all this before. I watch. It's this one dude, Super GT. All he does is stream races, and it's a couple other guys. I don't know their name. They have some funny name that it's hard to remember. Man, I watched this cat for 14 hours. You know, not in one sit down, but off and on. Just watching them race, man. Cause I just love racing. So anyway, and another thing, guys, when you're racing online, because it's online only.
Yeah.
If someone turns sideways, they turn into a ghost car, and you keep driving.
What?
It's no collisions, dude.
No collision at all. No collision, and they online was down for like 24 hours, so nobody can actually play the game for 24 hours.
Yep. Let me.
They were down longer than that.
It was like 30 hours, and
shoot, I was wrong then.
Hey, Tuck, to jump on you some more, Tuck. Not only was it down for 30 hours, but they took it down just because you know how we always find that one exploit where we could keep doing a certain race and build up points. Well, people were gaining too many points, so that's why they took the game offline. They patched it and made it more difficult to earn points through racing.
Yeah, I heard that.
It gets better, man. But you know, Sony could do whatever they want to do, and it's not criticized. But everybody want to criticize Halo for $10 cat ears on a helmet. Okay.
Right?
Yeah, that's what I heard too. Big Man, I heard the same thing too. That's sad, man. That's sad. But then again, what makes it so even so sadder. This is what makes it so sadder, man. What makes it so sad that these guys these pony ponies. I got a friend. He's a pony, and he goes along with it. Well, the reason why they got to do that, they got to make it tougher. I said, no, they don't. Hell, if it's a damn problem, let that be that. But you do not need to turn around and make it hard for people to turn around and grind to get cars. That's crazy. But they go along for that. That's the only thing I don't get about that. They go along with it every doggone time.
Yep.
I don't understand it.
Yeah, and after that, you know that. What did you think about that, Tuck? That put that. The people are upset about the DRM in the Gran Turismo game, man. I mean, you know, it's a single player game. You know, people are talking about it all day, every day. About it, and even MVG said he's not going to buy it. And he is a big pony out there, you know, when it comes to PlayStation. What do you think about it?
Man, all I gotta say is this: they can't beat Gran Turismo 7 on anything. I mean, Motorsports 7 on anything. They can't beat it on the damn thing.
Yeah.
This game's a 5-year-old game, and it beats everything on that game and then some. Okay, if you really want to play a real good game, y'all, that's out right now, go and play what's the name of the game? The one that Codemasters make. Grid Legends.
Yeah, Grid Legends.
Because man, you talking about a good game, man. And I'm talking about what makes that game so damn good is that if you get the lead, the lead is not safe. Because they will track you down, they will run you over. and I'm a known fact of it, man. They got so many doggone time trials. Like one race I raced, they got you get eliminated, you gotta get like a certain place to qualify and all that stuff. And then what they do is each time, you know, they put you on a time limit, and they got you from 15. And then if you don't get from 15 to 11, or by the time the clock right down, man, you got rivals and all that stuff. So that game is good. But Gran Turismo 7 it's just like everything else they make. Just like everything else they make, junk. The only Gran Turismo that they made good
That was the first one. Outside of that, prologue and all that stuff, where you got to buy the cars, and I'm like, come on, y'all making people where they got to buy the cars? No, I don't go along with that equation at all. I mean, like I said, besides the first Gran Turismo, that's the only one that I really like. Outside of that, all the others they can keep. So, and the DRM, they can, man, Sony can.
I hear you, man. But
that game's already failed, so we ain't worried about that game. That game is not going to make us money, and it's going to really put them in a bind.
There's some super background music going.
Because how much you think it costs for them to make that game?
I don't know, man. But,
It's a lot. Because those cars are not coming free. Those cars are not coming free. They got to pay each developer. They got to pay each manufacturer for them cars.
Yeah.
So that's not cheap at all. So it being recycled bin, just like Horizon Zero, Forbidden West.
Oh yeah, that's right. Nobody's talking about that game right now. So.
Nope. That game is done, then looked at, and passed on.
Well, have you guys played the new new snowboard game that came in Game Pass yet?
I haven't played it yet.
Me either.
What was it, Shredders? Is that what it's called?
Oh, I heard a few people talking about that. I don't know anything about it.
Looked like it might be pretty decent. But that Tunic, man, I'm having a little bit of fun with it. I'm gonna go back to probably playing it like later on today. But it looks pretty promising. It looks good. They did a good job graphically with the game, and it does kind of remind me. It does kind of remind me of a Zelda game. So, it's not that bad, man. So I'm gonna try to get further in the game today. You know what I mean? But yeah, what about you, T, man? Have you tried Tunic yet?
No.
Oh, you never tried it? Okay.
Nope.
Yeah, we'll have to see, man. I mean, hey, we got more stuff coming soon too. Has anybody heard of that game coming called it's called The Weird West? Have you heard of that?
Nope.
I think I heard of it, but because they have it on those Xbox On shows. But I saw this Nightmare game. I forgot who that was by. This horror movie game. I'm like, damn, I don't play horror movie games anymore, but it looked promising.
Yeah, I'm hearing that it looked like it might be, like you said, Zing, it might be pretty promising, man. But it looks like from what I've seen and them talking about it on the Xbox podcast, with Larry Herb and all that, man. Sounds like it'll be a pretty interesting game, man.
Yeah. I wish I knew the name of it. It was a couple of them. But
there's another one coming out called Scorn.
Oh, well, Scorn, we know about that one. It just haven't gotten a date yet. And that's another one of those creepy games. I don't know if I'm into creepy games anymore like I used to. Like I used to be back in the day.
Yeah. Back in the day, I think back in the day, like one of the most creepiest games I think will probably be like, you remember Silent Hill?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
All of those Resident Evils, all of the real games. Somebody got some serious background.
Yeah, I had to mute T for a minute there, until he stops hacking. He's having a little party over there.
Oh.
T, you all right, brother?
Yeah, I'm fine. My guests are not so much.
What you got? You having a party over there, man?
Yeah. Well, we went for a party, and then I'm on the air, so it's kind of
yeah. Channel said.
Huh?
I think he
guess he's
said he
having.
would mute until he
Okay.
talks.
Okay. But yeah, guys, there wasn't really much. Is there anything you guys? Well, there wasn't really much to talk about this weekend. Really, I just like to try to do the podcast. Saturdays, man, and bring up just a little bit of things, man. I've been playing a lot of Gears lately. I actually want to play with you, Otter Zink, play some Gears with you, brother.
Hey man, if I didn't have so much going on, I'd be playing that month right as soon as this show is over. But even outside of the NCAA tournament, I'd still play Gears first. But I'm glad, y'all hit the things that I wanted to talk about. You and Unlimited played Tunic. I wanted to hear about that. And the only other thing we didn't hit other than the fraudulencies of Gran Turismo 7 and the initiative is Sony tried to get that court case thrown out where the 8 other girls came on and said that they were violated as well. That's the only other thing that came up.
That's right.
Yeah.
You're right, Zink. They tried to sweep that under the carpet, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean that's not good, man. That's really not good at all, man. That sounds like some serious. Is it like? Is it going to be like some serious charges on that, or what?
Yeah, man, it'd have to be. I was listening to Grown Women Gaming this morning, and they brought it up. I'm glad they brought it up because a lot of other podcasters won't bring it up. And I think Lady brought up that right around that George Floyd stuff happening, they hired this black chick at Sony, and everybody was, fired up that she, was there. And then when this George Floyd stuff came out, she was getting hard times and, being mistreated by those jokers over there.
Wow.
And it just went boom, radio silent right away.
Wow, man, that's crazy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's crazy, man. Well, a lot of that goes. It's unfortunate too, Zink and Unlimited. You guys know, it's unfortunate what's happening with that part of gaming when it comes to us, man. It happens even when you're playing games.
Mm-hmm.
Even when you're playing Gears, it doesn't matter. You can see it in Gears and everything. It happens, bro. Yeah, I mean, it's just a shame that that's happening, man. But that's not going to stop us from gaming. So
absolutely not. And that's one of the reasons I game is to get the hell away from society because it's full of shit right now. And I want to make it home before somebody say something stupid to me and all hell break loose, And I even mentioned to the ladies on the show in the comment section that same shit happened to me at Nestle. But I'm a big black guy, but I dress nice. I speak well. I was a sales rep at Nestle.
Yeah.
And, they got rid of me for some bullshit. My uncle said, hey, welcome to big business. They don't want to pay you for the commission. Long story short, I had a developmental territory. When you have a developmental territory, it does 80,000 or less in volume, right?
Yeah.
In sales. I took that bitch in a year and a half to 453,000 in sales. I was killing it. We were about to sign this massive deal with the Girl Scouts of Chicago. 2 weeks before we were going to sign this deal, I got fired.
Wow.
Then a week later, my boss got fired. And then the other guy that I worked with on the deal, he got fired right before they signed the deal. Then they wanted me to give up all of the information that the other sales rep and I created, because it was logistically tough to manage and navigate. I had it all routed out on paper. We worked all day for this shit. Well, longer, we worked days for this. And, I didn't give them shit. We're not going to pay you the rest of your commission. That's like, oh, yes, you are. So I got my money, but, I lost a lot that time. And Nestle was the largest employer in the state of Illinois at the time. Yeah. So, dude, nobody wanted to take the case in Illinois. No one. No one wanted to take it. So I was just out. And I don't mind mentioning them bitches' names because, hey, I still have my shit. So if they wanted to say how I slandered their name, let's go to court about it. Let's talk about it. Maybe I can get my fucking money back,
Right.
But but of course, that just happened to me, but it happens to women more frequently, So, but I'm glad they brought it up because, Tuck Masters boys over there at IGN, they ain't gonna say shit about this. They'll say something one time, but they won't harp on it like they did the Activision shit.
Wow,
Well, you
man.
got that right. I ain't gonna say shit about that.
Mm-mm.
What? Hey, well, Unlimited, you still there, brother?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Hey, man. What do you think about the Xbox? Xbox Cloud Gaming now supports Steam Deck through Microsoft Edge, man. So you think that'll bring in more people to come to Game Pass?
I think I said I told you so. Cheers. Have fun.
Yeah, so I think it will, because it's kind of like, the Switch. The Switch. I think it's actually. I think Microsoft's Xbox came in second place this time with most consoles. I guess sold, and then Switch first. And if I'm right, if I'm wrong, let me know, guys. And I think PlayStation was third.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm thinking, guys, my theory, my opinion, I'm thinking with Xbox putting the Game Pass like at Steam Deck and different things like that, it is reaching more customers and more people. So I think it's just going to get just bigger and bigger and bigger, man. I mean, they're trying to get to that mark where they want to have, I forgot how many game players they want to have that they're trying to reach, Microsoft. But with putting it on there and the cloud on the Steam Deck, man, and all that, Game Pass, man, that's just I think that's really good. That's a good business move. What do you guys think?
Oh yeah, definitely. They're trying to reach 2 billion gamers, and you don't reach them just with the console itself, which we all know this by now. The whole gaming world know this by now. So I'm not saying anything new or revolutionary, just pointing it out of the whole goal of how you reach as many people as possible. You could do that without being a full-on third-party publisher, but you also need to make your Game Pass subscription extremely available as well. And they're doing that. Games, phones, tablets, your console, your PC, and now soon the Steam Deck. If that's correct what Segment is saying, we'll all be able to run Game Pass.
Xbox Play Anywhere is what that's called. Let's go. Soon to be infinitely anywhere that has an internet connection. I don't care. Let's go. But my point would be is that everybody can now play wherever you choose. I don't care.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing, man. You know what I mean? And we've talked about it so many times, guys, till we were blue in the face about Game Pass and everything. But
Unlimited is spot on with that, man.
Oh yeah, man.
And everybody laughed at Phil Spencer, and thought he was bullshit. And to go off on Unlimited, people are talking about with the Activision acquisition. Everyone keeps talking about protecting Call of Duty. That Candy Crush is going to make Microsoft way more money than Call of Duty ever will.
You got that right, Zane.
I have friends of mine that are professionals in real estate and attorneys. Hey, man, a couple of them had to cut off their Candy Crush account because one of them spent $400 on Candy Crush in a month.
Damn.
She deleted that bitch from her phone.
I remember that.
Dude.
Now, this is a friend of mine. I mean, these are smart motherfuckers.
Damn,
but you sitting around chilling, you waiting on a case or doing, waiting on people in real estate, and you playing this stupid ass game. And you reflect a month later, I spent $400 on what? Candy Crush.
God damn. That's almost a Series X.
You damn right. So Unlimited is spot on, man. But
wow.
but like Unlimited said, this is something that we've known. It's just that we choose to listen instead of speculating. And like Channel had a question here, do we know anything about Keystone? Because some data miner pulled up Keystone. I really don't know anything about it. I don't think it's another console, and I definitely don't think it's a handheld, because it seemed like Microsoft don't want to go the handheld route or that VR route, so because they don't see the reserves for the returns in it. So I don't
Keystone
know
is
anything
next
about
gen
that.
though. So
Well, it has to
it,
be next gen something, but I
yeah.
don't want to be a insider when I don't hear anything from Phil or somebody from Microsoft. I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
I've been sent a whole bunch of like uh architectural, designs of what they might look like, and they do look mad beautiful, but they are like pure speculation of what they might look like.
Hmm.
But
Oh,
that
cool.
it is an all digital box. I mean, so what are you going to make it look, fancy, or just make it function?
We'll just have to see, man. We'll just have to, I
Hmm.
guess, see it like in the future. Who knows, man, where this can go. You know what I mean? So, are you like VR? I'm not really into VR, but what about the AR? What about that? You guys into any kind of VR at all? I know I got my son an Oculus Rift, and he really likes it.
I think Microsoft. That's the reason Microsoft won't get into VR, is because they have like what is a $10 billion contract with the army, the
Oh yeah,
United with the freaking military,
yeah.
using AR. They have the AR devices there, so you know, that's just me. I'm not into VR either, but that's Microsoft's contract, so
Right, right,
they don't need the video game side for AR. They got shit going.
right. That's true. That's true.
Very
I
true.
forgot all about that. That's true. They do use it, the military. Yep. All right, man. This is going to be a short one because there wasn't that much, man. That to talk about. You know what I mean? Really wasn't that much to honestly talk about, man. Just those couple of things that trickled down out here in the in gaming news and out here in the gaming media, man. But is there anything you want to add, Tuck, before we leave, man? There's something you want to talk about? Or are you cool?
I'm pretty much done, man. Yeah, I mean, y'all pretty much done.
All right, man. Cool, man. But what about you, T? Anything to add?
No, just excited for this year.
All right, man. That's awesome. Well, guys, we're gonna get out of here, man. We're almost an hour, but there wasn't that much to really talk about today. But I want to give a very special thanks to my brother Outer Zinc coming and joining us today on the Alpha Man and my brother Unlimited, man. You can always find us on the Exile Podcast, guys, on Sundays, man, with my my brother E-Rock, DJ Tuckmaster, Outer Zinc, Hebot, Unlimited, me, just come and check us out, man. Come in and rock out with us on the Exile, brothers. You know what I mean? On Sundays. I think we got another one coming up. Is it next week?
Yeah, next week.
Next weekend? So yeah, we got another one coming up here soon, man. But big shouts out to the chat, man. Thanks guys for coming in and rocking out with us. Really appreciate it, man. So I'm gonna let my brothers do their outros, man. We'll start with you, ODT Reaper, man. Tell the people where they can find you, G.
You can always find me on Xbox Live, exactly as that is spelled.
All right, man. You want to do your outros there, Tuckmaster?
Hey, everybody, this is your boy DJ Tuckmaster 785. Like I said, next week I will be coming back with my Xbox Lions Den next week. I just didn't have nothing that much to talk about. With all this stuff that's going on in this crazy world today, just stay safe. And that's all I got to say.
Man, what you eating over there? Pillsbury muffins, nigga? Hardly top. Shit. Tuck over there throwing down, bruh. You know what I mean? All right, man. Outer Zinc, man. Go ahead and do your outros, brother.
Hey man, you know me, I'm always about the chat, but I did want to hear what Unlimited, E-Rock, Hebot had to say about that the initiative situation and all of you guys too. I really wanted to hear about that, what you guys thought about that,
Yeah.
and also what you guys thought about. I thought Unlimited and E-Rock were going to address it. They had a show. I thought they were going to talk about some of that, and also if
Yeah.
you guys get a chance, I want y'all to look at. Damn, it was the other. Oh, Gran Turismo 7. I know y'all might not like racing like I like racing,
I
but
like racing like
it's
you too, Zink. I love racing.
love it. But it's so many shady things to what they're doing at Polyphony Digital. Uh, I hope you guys see some of that stuff, man, so we can talk about it next time.
All right, cool, man. Cool. And you know, Zink, anytime you want to come on, brother, just let me know in the chat, man.
Yep.
All right, my brother that's always on fire, Unlimited Productions, man. Feeling like a villain, man. He came and joined us today, man. Go ahead and do your outros, brother.
And where you can find the Unlimited Truth. Thank you for having me, as always, man. Sega, man. It's always good to hang out with you, man.
Yeah, man, and thanks for coming by. And hopefully I get to be on the Unlimited Truth. I want to be on there so bad, but my ass be at work.
Yeah, I
You know what I
know.
mean? But I do want to come and join y'all on there one day, man, because I haven't been on. I think all the brothers been on there except me. I want to come on and rock out with you, man, and chop up some game.
Yeah, I know.
You know?
Man.
That's a good
Definitely
show.
to have you there.
Yeah, it is. It's a really good show. He's doing very, very good, man. You know? All right, guys, we're gonna get on out of here. You can always find me on my channel, Sega Man 101 Alpha Podcast on Saturdays, and our other podcast, the Exile Podcast, man, on Sundays. Big shout out to Hebot. Hebot tried to join a couple times. He might be having some technical difficulties with his phone. But big shouts out to him, and we got next when we do the podcast on. There's Hebot's here. There's Hebot right there, right? He's actually here. Hey, Zink, I think if we can get him to stay, we'll see what he thinks about the initiative thing.
Yeah, well, if he stayed, that's what I want to hear. I want to hear what he has to say
Hebot,
about
you there,
the
brother?
initiative.
Hebot,
Can you hear me?
yes,
sir.
What's up?
I'm having problems with my phone for the last couple of days.
Yeah.
He's cutting off because one of the side screen must be defective.
Uh-huh.
Oh
So
shit.
he's flickering on me. That's why. So
Okay. I figured that, Hebot. I figured that.
well, I was supposed to do something with Unlimited the other day, and I couldn't even get in because of that shit. After I made him my promise and shit.
Yeah. What's
Hey
up?
man, well you sound good right now.
You
Let's hear
sound
you
good
real
right now.
quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, loud and clear.
What's up? What are you guys talking about? What's up?
The initiative and what was
Oh,
that?
yeah.
Say,
Go ahead,
man?
Zink. Tell him.
GT. Yeah, I wanted to hear what you had to say about the initiative
Mm-hmm.
and GT7 and their big ass macro transactions that they got going on over there.
Wow, that GT7. I'll start with that. It's a little shorter, I guess.
Yes.
That GT7 is almost unbelievable because the price that they have put
Mm-hmm.
on those games is beyond ludicrous. You know what I'm trying to say?
Can't believe.
Like I seen cars of this. I thought it was a little. Some cars you pay $200 for them shits.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is they thinking? I mean, I know you have to pay for certain cars, certain license fees.
They're crazy.
So I'm assuming that they must not have been able to cover those fees. So the only way they figure they can cover it is by you buying it that way. You know, using that as one of the methods to pay
Good
for it.
point.
But at the same time, you can also earn it, right? From what I understand. But they made it like really difficult, for what I heard, and that really pissed off the community more. Well, anyways, I've seen that Metacritic again, not that Metacritic crowd, but there's over 4,000 people that are user based that reviewed it, and it's at like 2.3. You know what I mean? And it's like one of the lowest ever. So that's mind-boggling. But again, you know, it's that Sony arrogance, man. It's just getting to them. Little bit by little bit, with every move they make, it seems like it's just getting worse and worse, and it's just showing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So they've done stuff like this in the past for many, many years with other things. So it's not really something that is not feasible, but to this extent, it's just crazy. the price. I didn't think it would go this type of like retarded pricing type of deal shit with microtransactions. It, it's beyond that, you know. And then with the initiative, what you're talking about, how they're talking about with what's going on with people leaving, right? That stuff.
Yeah.
Hello.
I think we lost you.
You there?
That's what y'all were at? Y'all said y'all talking about?
No, we didn't hear what you said about the
Go
initiative.
ahead. Go ahead, Eba. Yeah, I think he's having a lot of problems with his phone, man. I think he's talking and it's just not coming through.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is. You there, brother? Yeah, I think that's what's happening, man.
Can you guys hear me?
Happening. We can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay. Hopefully it'll work. As far as the initiative goes, with what you're talking about, with everybody making a big hoopla because their people have left and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, I was speaking with Unlimited the other day about this. Like, look, with game development, it's always something that's, there's always people that come and go. And the thing is too that you got to understand that with initiative, they're still growing and they're being built, right? So that's the reason why a lot of companies don't want to build new studios from scratch, because it's a very time-consuming process. It's very difficult to get the right people to work together and blend together, and mesh. But I believe wholeheartedly that one of the reasons why the creative difference is there is because I have a very I have a very suspicious feeling that it's because they want to make the game more like a third-person game in a la Tomb Raider, right? The way that Crystal did Tomb Raider.
Right.
Because if you look at the catalog of Xbox right now, with a lot of the games coming, 90% are like first-person shooter mode. You know what I mean? Whether it's Scorn, whether it's Valve, Starfield, Bright Memory Infinite, we just had Crossfire. There, Stalker 2. A lot of that stuff is all first-person shoot, with the exception of maybe Hellblade and Indiana Jones, obviously, and perhaps Fable. So I'm assuming that they probably either want to do. I'm trying to take like a educated assumption, right?
Yeah.
That they probably want to make it either third person or a hybrid of both, and that's where the creative differences is coming from, because the original people want to probably make it more like just the original game, where just do a first person shooter and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, man, we letting you flow. Go ahead.
No. It's because I hear TV, so I wasn't sure that you couldn't hear me or not.
Go ahead.
That's
That was T.
So anyway, no, I wasn't sure. That's why. So I feel that that's probably one of the big reasonings why a lot of those first people that were there are actually leaving. But if you guys remember, when the guy that came in, that was the first guy introduced, I believe, I forgot his name. He was the head of Crystal originally that came over, right? But so I don't think it's that the game itself is in trouble. I just think that they're probably trying to figure out which would be the best route to go for the game, because it's one of the big IPs that haven't been around for a while, has a lot of nostalgia behind it, and they want to do it justice, because when they did Perfect Dark Zero for 360, although it was okay, it still fell short and kind of lackluster for a lot of people. And I think that's not what they want to do. Obviously, with AAA studio, they want to do the creme de la creme, so to speak, right? But that media harness stuff that goes on, where they're like, oh, they're making all these. You see, like we've talked about this many a time, pointed out many a time. Me, people like Unlimited, definitely people like E-Rock, even other Zinc. Always, he's pointed out, even when it's on the chat that he's been there, he's pointed out how there's all these articles, like I've said, 100 articles talking about it. Instead of talking about the harassment case with all these women that came out allegedly that's going on with all the sexual allegations and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With Sony, which is much more important, much more effective and damaging to the industry. Creative differences happen all the time. You know, that's why I've been with Uncharted. I mean, not Uncharted, with the Last of Us 2.
The Last of Us 2.
You know, I believe 72% of the original employees for Naughty Dog were no longer working on the game by the time the game was coming to its middle or end of production. You understand? So, you know, and they try to give it the greatest praises ever. It got all those high Metacritic scores, even though the user base didn't like it because they disrespected the main characters, right? And they try to shoehorn that this Abby chick, that's AKA a transsexual, is the leading protagonist, right? For this inclusivity shit that they're shoehorning, right?
Yeah.
But again, when it comes to Metacritic, they still praise it, still got high scores and high accolades, right? So, you know, that's just rhetoric because it's just trying to look for anything to talk about negative about Xbox because there really hasn't been much. But to be concerned for the game, not really, because I think they'll figure it out. But what I do think is that Phil should be a little bit more hands-on instead of just letting them be, because I know he said that he's just letting them sort their differences and figure out what they want to do. He don't want to interfere. But, you know, there's a lot of money involved. They're paying for it, and it is their property and their studio. You know, they should, you know, put their shoe down a little bit and be like, hey, listen, either you get to work and cut this out, we're going to hire all new people. You know, like, we can't have this. You know what I mean?
And here's what I said about that, Hebot. I want you to see what you think about this. I don't know if you heard us earlier, but what they, at the beginning of the initiative, the team was going to start small, and they were going to bring on someone to help co-develop their game in the first place. That was back in 2018, and it's the situation that I brought to the fellas earlier that Turn 10 did with Playground Games. Turn 10 is a strict racer, formal racer, but yet they wanted to have a fun racer, so they drew this blueprint of Forza Horizon. They recruited developers, a group of Turn 10 people. They created, they interviewed everyone. They selected Playground Games. Playground Games came in. They said, hey, we want you to build a world around these cars. And they actually used the Turn 10 cars in the Forza Horizon game. The Playground guys built the world. Now it worked out. So now Playground Games has blown the fuck up. And now they're able to do other things. This is the same methodology here that they're doing with the initiative. You have the initiative comprised of all of these elite developers and creators. They drew a blueprint, just like Turn 10 drew a blueprint, just like an architect draws blueprints for subcontractors. Daryl Gallagher led Crystal Dynamics, but it was a faction created that, hey, we want to go this way, or you're not listening to me. Well, Daryl Gallagher is the boss. And this one guy in the chat wanted to argue with me and say, hey, Valve, they allow creation from the bottom up. I said, what? I said, Gabe Newell is the undisputed leader at Valve, period. No questions about it. Now, he'll let you have your input, but if there's a decision to be made, that decision is Gabe Newell's. Same for Daryl Gallagher. And you know how it is. It's, even I had to fire one of my foremen that I like. I'm like, hey, dude, we don't work that way.
Yeah, sometimes you got to make decisions you don't want to, but if it's for the best of the whole team, you got to do what you got to do.
Absolutely. So, and one thing I didn't say to the guys earlier, that this was coming, okay? And when they finally because they brought in Crystal Dynamics first around September, whatever, they brought in Crystal Dynamics. So these people, this faction within the initiative didn't like that. So they was like, hey, we quit. And you see that either they got fired or quit because the other lead guy said, hey, I'm available for work. So you left without a job? Is that what you did? You know? And then, and this is personal because, you know, E-Rock and I choose 100% violence. Look here. I'm glad like hell they got rid of the Uncharted people and the three God of War developers because I don't want a Perfect Dark to be a fucking movie. Okay? I want gameplay. I don't want no damn movie. Get out of here with that bullshit. I don't want no damn movie. You go back to Sony and you keep making movies. I want gameplay. So, but that's what I said, Heba. This is the methodology used by Turn 10. And if you, as soon as all of us opened up Forza Horizon 5, you saw Turn 10 there. Turn 10 is the orchestrators of this game. But they fall back and don't say shit because they want you to be your own studio. That's why you didn't see.
They got to learn how to work with each other. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean,
so
it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense what you're saying. And that's why I don't know if you heard when I said, yeah, you heard me obviously, but that's why I said earlier that a lot of developers or a lot of companies, right, like Sony, for example, or Nintendo, that's why they don't want to open up new studios because it's a tedious process, right? And it's going to take time and it's expensive. It's like when they want to build a brand new engine. Nobody want to build new engines because it's better to use an old engine and make a new game and just tweak it up and make it look better. Nobody wants to build a new engine, but look what happened when companies or developers go with Xbox, right? When Sunset Overdrive was created, the first thing that Microsoft said to them, what do you need? And they said, we want to build a new engine. And they built the new engine that is now running the Spider-Man games for PlayStation, right? From scratch. They completely funded it. It took them 5 years to finish the game. Same thing with Remedy when they did the Torchlight engine. They built another engine on top of the engine they already had built for Alan Wake and did another one, right? And it took them 7 years to finish Quantum Break, right? Because it's expensive. It's a tedious process. But only
the
those types
slip-based engine.
Yes,
was
the
expensive
slip-based
as shit.
engine. Exactly. Yes. Only companies like Microsoft, right? In this case, can afford to do those type of moves. But it's for the betterment of those companies and developers, right? Or mainly those developers and the games, obviously, long term, right? But that's why you don't see what you see Sony always do when they purchase a studio. It's always a studio that's established, that got their foot in the door somewhere else, that paved their way and paid for their own shit somewhere else. Then they bring them in and act like, oh yeah, we're gonna nurture you and take care of you because you already don't got to do the work. You see what I'm trying to say? The work is done. Insomniac already had the work done. They had their engine thanks to Microsoft. Same thing with fucking what's the other one they built? The guys, Housemarque, the ones who created Returnal. Their engine that they paid for internally with all the independent IPs they did before that. And they created it. You get what I'm saying? So it's not like they helped them build the shit and pay for it. No. And that's what people don't understand. That's also part of the process that's going on with the initiative right now. They're building a brand new engine with brand new team. And what you're saying is very feasible. Absolutely. Because you're right. That's kind of how they worked it with playground games. They started up with the fundamentals, let them do a small game in Forza Horizon 1. They even used the car assets. And then they built the world around it and made it what it was. And look at them now. Now they're forced to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
But it took them how long? It took them a long time. Not to get good games out, but to get the respect that they have today, right? Because I remember the other Zinc and fellas. I remember when Forza Horizon first came out, it was being praised by a lot of the media, right? But a lot of players during embracing it.
Hey man, I'm one of them. And
me too. I'm guilty of it too.
Yeah. Even though I bought it, I wasn't a fan of it at all because I wanted Forza to stay strict.
No.
I liked it,
you know what it was. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'll go after you because I'm a correlated with what you're saying.
Mine is already quick. I wanted Forza to stay the same because I'm a big NASCAR guy. So I wanted them to. I didn't want to deviate from what I love the most, right? So I was a little hesitant, even though I bought the game. I wound up liking it. My kids freaking loved it. And then part 2 came out and I was more warm to it. I was more warm to 3, et cetera, et cetera. And then this is Unlimited is only about 3 or 4 years old, so he don't know about this. But dude, we grew up with Hot Wheels and Matchbox cars. Sir. So when they came out with that Hot Wheels pack, dude, I stood up. I'm like, damn, should I go and wait outside the store to get this shit? or how am I getting this? You know, man, I was going crazy.
Oh, for
But yeah,
Horizon,
Like
yeah,
even when they did the Lego World one was pretty interesting.
that Lego
right?
shit. My kids
Mhm.
love that. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
But go
No,
ahead.
my story is a lot like yours, other Zinc. Believe it or not, and not that we rehearsed it to the audience looking or listening. I literally was like you. I was in the same boat. My son was playing it, right? My son Zach. So shout outs to him, right? And he was like, "Oh, this game is dope." And I was so accustomed and conditioned to only liking Forza, the way I learned to like it when I played Forza 4 on the 360. That game was fucking gorgeous, spectacular. Loved it. The setting, the world, the way it was, the customization. So I didn't want to hear it. I didn't want to hear nothing about no Forza Horizon. What's this new shit? I don't give a fuck.
Right.
And oddly enough, I will admit, when I saw that 2 came out, I played 2 first, then 1, right? And I saw what they did with the open world idea. I was like, yo, this is actually pretty fucking dope. It's cool. It works with the Lambo and everything in the opening scene. I got into it, right? So then my curiosity obviously caught me. And then when they did the back compat, you remember one of the first games they announced was Forza Horizon 1 back compat, if you remember. So then I went, played the first Forza Horizon, and that game was, I was like, wow, no wonder my son was really loving it, because it wasn't even open world. It was basically a big map that connected in pieces, and you did the story as you went along. And as you went along, the story unfolded, and you were doing all these cool ass races, but it worked. It worked really, really well. It almost felt open world, but it wasn't. You get what I'm trying to say? It was kind of like a hybrid of level base with open world. So it was really cool. And I completely enjoyed it. Then it looked gorgeous because I had that update with 4K and 60. I was like, wow, this game is, I missed out. But I understood at that point why my son was so fond of the game. So I kind of shook my hands. I see that's what I get myself for not even trying it. So that's how it happened. And then obviously 3 came out. I thought 3 was the pinnacle of all. Then 4 came out, like 4, but I didn't like the idea of having to go in every week with a different season, and that the races would unlock based on the seasons, because then you have to keep up. You know how our time is already limited. Our time is already limited to play. So for me to make a schedule, I got to go in every week in order to get all, it was almost impossible, because there are times I go 2-3 weeks without being able to touch a controller. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So I was like, so that kind of turned me off, and then they kind of implemented that in the new one, but in a different way a little bit, but it's a little better structured, but it, even though it's similar. So I'm enjoying the new one too, but I think 3 was the highest mark for me. But like you, yes, I wasn't a big Forza fan, but to connect it with what we were talking about to begin with, you're absolutely right. The fact that they started small with just minimal help of Turn 10, but letting them grow, I think is probably the same idea behind, like I said, the Perfect Dark team. But that the thing that irks me is how the people are already, trying to make it seem like it's the end all be all, and yet they seem to forget when God of War was made, they brought in like 5 other developers to help them finish God of War.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The new God of War, it's not even Cory Ballard doing it anymore.
Yeah,
he said he was letting you knew that, right? You heard about that, right?
Yeah.
He's letting the new, I think he's letting one of the art directors that were there from the first game, since the first game, he's directing the new one. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So nobody's panicking about that. It's just, it comes with the territory, and it's part in the nature of developing in video games, especially in today's day and age, that everything takes a lot longer. You need a lot more manpower, people coming in and out. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, it could be that there's some clashing because there's a lot of legendary developers there, right?
Yep.
And when you're a legendary developer, it's like they say, if there's too many cooks in the kitchen, sometimes it doesn't work.
Too many
everybody
chefs
wants
in the
to,
kitchen. Yep.
Right. Because and I'm not saying it in a bad way. I'm not saying, because obviously they all have their pedigree in the industry because of they worked their way in, and they got their respect because of their body of work, right? So we all know they earned their stripes. It's not like they didn't earn them, but maybe because they're under the same game, everybody wants to be the top leader or the top creative mind behind it, and it doesn't work that way. Sometimes, like we said, Unlimited talked about that. So many cooks in the kitchen, it's not a good thing, because that's where the clashes is coming from. But I think they'll figure it out. Microsoft,
Without a doubt.
they've been in that position.
I'm glad you
before.
said that too. I'm glad you said you think they'll figure it out, because here was my second backup to that. And just think of it this way: if the initiative needs help, they got Turn 10, the Coalition, 343, Rare, Minecraft. They got Ed. They
Double
got
Fine,
Ed,
Compulsion. They got a lot of.
They have
options.
a legion of snipers to go and help their ass out. I mean, Turn 10, 343, and the Coalition helped PUBG.
Yeah, yes they did. Yes they did. Yes they did. That's why I said it's not an unheard of, and it's not an uncommon practice in gaming. You know what it is to Unlimited and Others Inc. and Sega Man and all my brothers here in the panel. The problem is that we live in a world, right, where social media, right, is king. Yep. We have access to everything now, right? When we grew up, we had access to nothing. The only access was a magazine, a publication, and we read it. And when we read it, by the time we read it, it was already 3 months old, because it was written and printed 3 months before, right? By the time it comes into syndication. So with us, all that dirt that happened years ago as well, it wasn't prevalent, right? We didn't know, because it wasn't at a tip of a finger where you just and Google something and real quick, all the achievement, all the noise is there, right? And that's also what hurts, because now people think, because they have the ability of just pressing a button and finding out information, that gives them the right to make and voice their opinion. It's like when you have a platform,
right?
Huh?
Then they don't even get that right.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm getting at, Unlimited, because just because you have the platform doesn't mean that everybody's supposed to speak on it. Because when you speak on a platform, the first thing you're supposed to have is responsibility to your audience, right? And a lot of these dudes don't care about that. That's why you got people like a Dustin Nagari that'll say Xbox is fantastic today, right? Or Colin Moriarty saying that Sony nurtures their shit when he knows half of them or 90% were bought since day one or since the inception of Sony. And then the next day, they're saying something completely ludicrous, because they don't care about the responsibility. What they care about is what is current times, like the current events. This is going to get me some views. Let's go. You get what I'm trying to say? So having a platform requires responsibility. That's why a lot of mainstream media and regular TV channels, like the news outlets, that's why all their freaking viewership is low, because people don't trust them no more. They got caught in lies. They got caught in fallacy. They got caught doing stupid shit.
Yeah, somehow these gamers got away with that, man. They still lying and still getting money off this shit. I saw one dude who made a video about his fake concern on Starfield, knowing damn well, and at no point did he point out the article that's a Google search away where Bethesda said that they're going to show gameplay in the summer.
Absolutely.
Yes. Nowhere. And it's like, come on, man. How does this guy get thousands and thousands of views? People donate to his channel, and he just flat out lied to them like that. Shit, well, I don't get it.
Well, Unlimited, remember on Twitter the other day, and because you liked it, I know you saw it. Dreamcast guy said something stupid. He had a real dumb hot take, like he has a lot of times, right? Check it out, Lizink. Check it out, Lizink. He said something stupid, and the guy was complaining about it. And what did I say? I said, well, you know who the real bad guys here is you guys, because you're the dumbasses that keep supporting him.
Yep.
You're the one that keeps subscribing. You're the one that keeps looking at him. So why are you complaining? Don't complain, because right now you're giving him a view by putting up what he's doing.
Yep. And you spot on in 100. He in the chat, what's up, 100? And Channel's been saying some good things in here too. But it's when I look at a video, because I watch so many things on YouTube, and I watch a video, and I'm like, okay, what is this dude talking about? I forgot, it was Xbox something, and he is obliterating Microsoft on some shit he don't know nothing about. And I look down, and I'm like, 267,000 subscribers. I'm like, oh
Jeez.
shit. So that
Right.
means it's 267,000 stupid people that's gonna walk away thinking this dude is right. And Channel said you were talking about magazines, Hebot. Man, I have honestly, I have a garage wall
EGM.
full of EGM,
I believe
Die,
you.
Die
I
Hard
believe you. I
Game
used to have it the
Fan,
same thing, got rid of it. I believe
Game
you.
Pro.
Nintendo Power, Game Pro.
The Power,
Man,
Sega Vision, Gamers Republic, EGM, Game
hey,
Pro,
I have
the
Sega
one
Vision.
hey, remember the Xbox magazine that came with the
Xbox
demos?
magazine. Yes, sir.
Hey, dude, I have all of that shit is on my wall, and I'm afraid to get rid of it. Like I'm gonna find something new if I
you gotta
open that
look
bitch
for
up.
time.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Me too.
No, I believe you. I was the same way. I had to get rid of
I
it because of
envy y'all.
space, but I still got. Yep.
Unlimited said he envies us. Hey,
Yeah, 'cause
Unlimited,
I
it
was
was
a
a great
kid.
time.
Yeah, when I was a kid, that was not lasting. The magazines were not lasting that damn long. So by the time I got my hands on another one, my magazines were tore up. So they
Yeah.
on the trash.
No. You're right.
They're in the
Mine were
dump
too.
somewhere.
Mine were too. Because you read so much and so much stuff, they used to have so, especially when they would do like the E3 edition, because the E3
Oh
edition
boy.
would always be that big summer edition that had
Yeah.
like all the arcade stuff, all the art stuff coming out, all the new console previews, you know, the rumors and rambling of the next generation consoles. You know how it always was. That E3 edition that would come out either July or August, that was the hottest issue, bro. Let me tell you. That's the issue you read like 14 times just so that you can get everything in it, you know. But those were the glory days because you know there was still integrity back then. Remember?
I don't know if you did this Unlimited, but I know he bought Sega Man and the rest probably have. But we used to go to GameStop and get the list. The list of the games that
Yeah.
used to come out.
Oh yeah.
We swear by
They
that
used to
list
give it
too,
to me.
boy.
Oh yeah. Circle. We used to circle and try to figure out, well, how much am I going to spend this year?
Hell yeah.
How am I going to get the money for all these games? Which one am I going to prioritize? Yes, sir. You absolutely right. Yeah,
Weren't you
absolutely
guys
right.
excited when you would get
Me,
that?
there's the video rental store, Hollywood Video, and they used to have, and so Hollywood Video used to have their games that they used to sell. So I used to go there because I used to use
Well, if you remember Unlimited, Hollywood Video, and you too, Sega Man and others, Inc., I'm pretty sure. And I don't know if you remember, Thomas, but Hollywood Video was the first place that did a Game Crazy. It was called Game Crazy, right?
Game Crazy.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
They used
But
to
they
have
were
tournaments
they
at
were
that
the
bitch.
ones. They were the first ones doing a very consumer friendly thing for the customers, which I don't know how that shit didn't take off because nobody else applied it. But you were
That was
able.
what that was what
Go ahead.
came before Game Informers, right?
No. It was a store. A store, not a
It was a
magazine.
store.
Game
Yeah,
Crazy
where you would go to Hollywood Video and they had Game Crazy
and
on
in
the
the
side.
back,
Right?
the one near me, you go to the back and there's the Game Crazy sign. That was the first. That was the
Yes.
first place. You know, I had a little card for and all that
Yes.
stuff.
But remember, Unlimited, remember, they would let you try out any new game in the store. They had TV set up with the consoles. You try out the game,
Yep.
and if you like the game, they let you play it for an hour. If you like the game, you buy the game. If you didn't like it, you didn't have to buy it. They were the first ones to do that. I remember it was very consumer friendly, and that's where I started buying my stuff until they went out of business. Obviously, because Hollywood Video went bankrupt.
Devastating.
You know, but that because Blockbuster didn't play that shit. Blockbuster, you wanted to play a game, you had to rent it, flat out.
Yeah.
You couldn't do shit. Oh no, you got to rent it, and that's it. And then you rent it for like almost $6-7, and you could only keep it for like 5-4 days, some shit like that.
Yeah.
And then return it back. I remember I had to rent out Outrun several times just so I can beat it on the Genesis. And then ultimately I ended up buying it because I never saw anybody have it. It was the only copy at my local Blockbuster, and so I bought it for the Genesis because they had it. They gave you, they had an option where you could buy the game, and that's what I did. I remember that very, very vividly. But yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there if you guys remember that they did that.
Hey guys, you remember when you would get the Xbox magazine? You'd be excited, man, waiting for that next demo disc.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
oh yeah.
I did a video a few years back on the demo disc I have, man. I got like 2.2K views on that, man.
Oh, nice.
Just
Yeah,
Nice.
on the
video.
demo disc from the Xbox, the Xbox magazine, man. But I was always excited to wait to get those demo discs, man. And some of those had Easter eggs in it. You had to push
Yeah,
certain
yeah.
buttons, and then your controller would vibrate a little bit. When it would get stronger and stronger, you would actually unlock that Easter egg, like for the original, the original Xbox demo disc. It was really cool. It was really
What?
cool the way they did that stuff, guys.
You remember when Saturn came out, right?
Yeah.
And what they did was because a lot of people were kind of like, because I believe the development of Virtual Fighter 1 was actually rushed.
Oh,
So
right.
it wasn't really running the game really
They
well.
made the remix.
And they did a remix version and sent it to all the people who bought the console and registered it.
Yeah.
They send them a copy of it for free. And I got it in the mail. I remember that. That was an exciting thing, man. When I got that, I was like, what? They remixed it and it looked like way better. And I was like, this is really awesome.
Yeah.
They did cool. And like they did that with Knights in the Knights game where they had a Christmas theme version of Knights into Dream.
Yeah.
That was another thing they did really nice. Yeah. Those are cool things that we never will get back again. You know what I mean?
No. Because well, these days, guys, when you get gaming magazines, they don't put shit in there, right? There ain't nothing there.
Well, I really don't even. They closed a lot of the Barnes and Nobles that we used to go to
Yeah.
see,
Yeah.
if we even wanted to subscribe to those magazines. It's
Barnes
only
and
one of
Nobles
them open now.
practically took place of Borders. Borders is what they eradicated.
Really?
Yeah. It was. We had a Borders and a Barnes and Noble, and but online just took over and ruined
Yeah.
everything. It's only one Barnes and Noble now, and I go in there just to keep the traffic going to see if it's anything I possibly get.
Yeah.
I even go in there and they have this super expensive Godiva chocolate bar in there that's like
Okay, Richard.
$3.
Yes.
And,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I'll even
Delicious.
just go in there. Just please keep the store open,
Yes.
even though I don't.
Well, Barnes and Nobles, if you remember, Zink, they used to sell the European version of the
Yes.
Xbox magazine, which was super high quality, high gloss. It was an amazing.
I got
magazine.
one, Ebon. I got
Yeah.
Yeah. It used to cost like $11. I used to
Yeah,
buy
That bitch was $9.
Yeah. I used to pay $11 for it. Oh my God! But it was such an amazing magazine.
It was
And,
beautiful. It was big.
Yes, thick,
just
good high
quality
gloss paper.
pages. Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It was so good written quality articles. But a lot of the people, my real, what I noticed right from that era, a lot of the people, what happened with the magazines that they started kind of dying down is because once the internet came in, like Zink said earlier, they just was trying to read the shit free. They didn't want to pay for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I always I don't understood that because the magic of the magazine was having it with the physical copy, beautiful artwork, the nice articles, the pictures of people within the industry. That's how we would know who would be a developer, what they look like what Phil looked like, what Aaron looked like. You know what I mean? We wouldn't see him in no damn videos. See him in a book, in a magazine with a picture. When they do one-on-one interviews and shit like that. And that was the whole magic of it.
Yeah, but what made it bad now is that, by the time we get a magazine, whatever we get in a magazine is 3 weeks late.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's just nostalgic at that point. It's over.
Yeah. Well, they only got one left, I think, now, and that's Game Informer. That's through GameStop.
Yeah.
And they use cheap paper, it's very thin.
Yeah.
And then when you look at it, it's always, ball sucking either PlayStation games and Nintendo games, and then Xbox games is
Yeah.
a 3 out of 3.
Now, what do you guys? When you go to, if you guys go, or when you go, or you go to GameStop. Now that the gaming magazine we get from there. Do you still think that it's still basically a PlayStation magazine?
Go ahead, Unlimited or T.
Is it Gaming Monthly we get from there? Is that what it's called? Game Informer?
No,
It's Game Informer.
Yeah. I mean,
But it might as well be the Nintendo and Sony magazine.
I gotta be honest with you. I haven't read a Game Informer in a while, even though I still got my card there with GameStop. I didn't want to get charged. I didn't want to get charged extra. Because they're going to charge extra to send me the magazine instead of sending it digitally. So I haven't really read it since making that switch. So I wasn't going to pay extra for the damn magazine.
I haven't read one in a while. So
Yeah. So, and I don't have the same hate for GameStop that a lot of people do. Only thing I don't like is that every once in a while when I buy something for Xbox, there's always that one guy
Absolutely.
who acts like buying for Xbox is this mysterious thing.
It's
You know
criminal.
what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
or don't understand that I got the Xbox Series X. Like, motherfucker, I'm buying a physical copy of Flight Simulator. What console do you think I got? You know what I'm
Exactly. Right.
and I still like my physical media personally.
Right.
Well, that's when you catch
going the
it.
way of the dinosaur. People like me are going the way of the dinosaur, man. But in the same way that Hebot was explaining the magazine, that's how I kind of feel about having those physical copies. I know it takes up a lot of room. I got 2 shelves and all this stuff just for the Xbox One games alone. But damn it, I just love that collection, man.
I watched that shit you had, and then Sega Man come with his shit, and he won't open up a damn game. He's like, "No, this shit gonna stay in this damn plastic. I'm gonna play this digital shit." I'm like, "Yeah, Sega Man, you ain't gonna open that bitch up, huh?" Okay.
Nah, man. It's true. He's done that a couple of times, right?
Zink, man. The thing about collecting physical, some of them physical games are pricey. Like
expensive,
I got Attack on Titan 2. Attack on Titan 2.
That's
physical.
expensive.
Yeah. I got it in my collection. I just bought it when.
I don't even have one yet. Unlimited. I need to get.
Yeah, I have 1 and 2 physical. Yeah.
And I got the steelbook for the second one, right?
Oh,
so
nice.
It was on sale. Little did I know, a year later, it explodes in price. Same thing happened with the Amazing Spider-Man 2. Same thing happened with a physical copy of Fortnite. Like, some of these physical games, man, they hold their value pretty well.
100%. I had it was another game that I had by Sega, but I know Panzer Dragon. I had the disc version, and I sold that damn thing to a guy at it was called Electronic Boutique at the time. Then switched to Babbitt's. Sold it to a guy for $80. I'm like, you'll pay $80 for that? I'm like, okay. I gave him the disc. I had the the pamphlet in there. Gave it to him.
Which one did you trade in though? Did you trade in the
I'm
RPG
not sure.
one or the first one?
Oh no, it wasn't the RPG one. It was the one that you flew around with the dragon.
I did the same thing, RPG one, with my friend Ralph, because he knew I had it, right? And you guys remember they only made like 1,000 copies of that. I bought it because I happened to be in Bavages, right? When they were getting in shipment, and they literally got 1 copy of the game. 1.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? Let me get in. They also had got 1 copy of House of the Dead, right? For Saturn. Bought the motherfucker, beat it, but I needed money. He was working at another store called Planet X. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Planet X.
I never heard of that one.
Okay, so it was called Planet X. It was in my local mall here in Paramus. So I went one day with my son, and he literally bought it back as a buyback from me for $280 at that time.
Wow.
So I wasn't going to say no. I needed the money.
Hell no.
So I needed the money, so I took the money at the time. And then now I look at the listing, and that shit is almost at $2,000. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, that's worth a lot of money, he bought. I think it's probably the most expensive Saturn game right now.
Yeah,
it's expensive.
Oh, that's what it was. It's another one. I think it was called Burning Rangers.
Burning Rangers with the firefighters. Absolutely.
That bitch. I sold that one also for $80. Sure did. Sure did. I couldn't think of the name. Yep.
Burning Rangers was fucking awesome. That was by the same people, Sonic Team.
Yeah,
people who did the Sonic games. That was one of their new IPs.
Yeah,
you were a firefighter in the future. That game is awesome.
So whenever I see Unlimited with his shit, this other dude, TK9 and Sega Man, showing these games and the package because you guys like this. Well, I have a bunch of games under my TV and in my son's room, all disc, right? And I'm just, even when I'm watching those videos, they make me go upstairs or go downstairs. I'm like, I think I still got this damn game. I'm like, let me look at this shit. Right. They got me going through my shit. I'm like, damn, I gotta stop watching this shit.
Yeah, no, but it's so awesome though, because it
is
nostalgia.
Man.
And you're like,
and
damn,
they so excited about this too. Yeah.
Yeah, I got a lot of hidden gems too that I'm lucky to have, but I got rid of a lot of good stuff. And again, because I sold it to get the other stuff, the newer stuff, I didn't have the money at the time.
That's
obviously.
what I did too.
Some of that
stuff.
I remember you said in your video, and but you've been oh my God, you've been blessed. You've been able to find a lot of shit for like
Yeah.
$2. I got it on the cheap. I'm like, this mother.
Yeah. And those collections they have look pretty. I'm like, look at all of this shit Unlimited.
Yeah,
Look,
yeah.
look at this shit.
Damn it.
Yeah, Unlimited has
I
like
wish I could
Damn.
finish.
this Xbox
For real.
collection is mad crazy, bro.
Mhm.
This
Yeah.
Xbox One games, it's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, my son showed me something retarded today. He showed me a sealed graded copy of the Black Label, meaning that's the first print of a PS2 version of Bouncer from Square Enix. You know,
Oh,
that
the
beat 'em up?
Bouncer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that game was terrible.
Games.
Horrible game. I mean, it was complete dog shit.
What you say, Unlimited?
I said that was one of them early PS2 games.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
and-
like one of the release games. It was terrible.
I hated that game.
Guess how much it's going for, others?
How much?
He had it graded for $13.99.
Wow.
1,399. That was the price value. I was like, nah, see, we gotta stop.
Yeah.
That's a man.
I
That's a lot of money.
I should have just kept that motherfucker and just sold it. Kept it and graded that shit and sold it. But I hated that game. That game was garbage. Oh my God, that game was
Oh, it
garbage.
was horrible. Terrible ass.
So bad.
game.
My
Only
friend,
pretty graphics. That's it.
my friend actually traded me something he wanted Nintendo, and he traded me. He only had the disc,
Uh-oh.
but I said okay because I made a cover for it because I can't find the casing for it. He traded me Marvel Superheroes on Saturn for a Nintendo game.
Oh wow, yeah, that's a big one too.
Great on your end then, because that Marvel
Yeah.
superhero game, damn.
Didn't you find it on the video? I remember one of your videos you have showed it, right?
Marvel superheroes, the Sega Saturn game, nah, man.
No, no, it's
That's
the one
what
from
100
OG,
is talking about.
I
100
think it
is
was the one
talking
from
about Marvel
EGX.
versus Capcom.
No,
Oh.
you have one of the ones for OG Xbox that's really rare also.
Oh yeah. Shit, I got a lot of superhero.
Is it Marvel
games.
versus Capcom 2 for on Xbox?
No, he has the
No.
first one. Or is it two? I know he has one of those rare ones, and he had it in the case and everything.
Yeah. Gosh, which one was it?
Which one is that? Unlimited?
I'm trying.
I think
to
it's
think.
that one. I think it's Marvel vs. Capcom 2 for the OG
Yeah.
Xbox.
Yeah.
I think it's that one. He has it in the box and everything.
Yeah. That's one I have. So I sure as hell don't have Marvel superheroes. So
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, we had.
Remember they used to have also more Capcom versus Street Fighter. Remember that?
Yep.
Yeah,
I think
Yeah.
it's Saturn.
There's the X-Men versus Street Fighter. That was
X-Men versus Street Fighter 2, Children of the Atoms. That's right.
Yeah, Children. That was a great fucking game. I used
Those
to love
guys.
that game.
And
that
those
was a
just
really
look like
good game, man. Yeah, that
Super
one on
fun.
Saturn's good, very good.
And then on the Genesis, there's this game, the X-Men games on those games I used to love as well. There's X-Men and X-Men 2 Clone Wars.
Yep.
Yep.
God damn, I used to love those fucking games.
Yeah.
The action adventure one you're talking about. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember those shits. There was another one too. I used to like Eternal Champions on the Genesis.
Yeah.
The fighter. That was
Yeah.
Eternal Champions was badass when you
I
kicked
see.
Yeah,
somebody
right.
into that fan, and that was like the finishing
Yeah.
move.
Mhm.
And that
Should
dude
make
that
a
looked
new
like Blade. What was his
Mm-hmm.
name? Was his name Blade in the his name was Blade in the game, right? Blade.
I believe so. Because there was a bunch of generational characters like from different time periods of like
Yeah.
of history, like historical factors period, and then you were fighting in that world. I remember one of the fatalities, you threw the motherfucker in the water and the shark ate you. That was one of the fucking fatalities or some shit like that. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
They were
I
nice
love
to
that
see.
game.
That were brutal.
They made like a new version of that game. Nice to see Sega do that.
It would be nice.
the
They're sitting on
old
some
Sega.
good IP. They need to do something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the
Well,
old
guys.
Sega, man. The old Sega was just unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
They didn't even feel human. They come up with
Yeah.
so many different new IPs and so many creative new games and ideas. You're like, yo, these guys are they're like aliens or something. They crazy. Seriously. Dude, who makes a game about picking up people in car accidents in an ambulance and drive them to the hospital before they die? And make that shit fun.
Fun, yeah.
Make it fun.
And then had a bunch of games rip it off, man. They had the Simpsons,
Exactly.
The Simpsons
Shit,
Road Rage.
That was ambulance emergency call. They had freaking
Yeah.
Harley Davidson game. They used to make games on anything, and like Jungle Safari, where you were hunting down, animals that were in the brink of extinction, on the verge of extinction and shit, and then bring them to zoos and to keep them preserved, I guess. That's how it was, and those things were fun. I think in China they had one where you could be a bus driver. The
Man,
game
y'all
was like
have
being a bus driver or some shit like that.
y'all were talking so much, man. I even have a you remember that video RAM booster pack, that 4 meg or whatever booster pack you had for the Super Nintendo? I got that shit.
Oh, you still got it? That's pretty
There
good.
it is, guys.
I still got it. That shit in the box.
Look at Sega Man.
See?
See, Sega Man be having the case too. That's what I like about
Yeah.
his collection.
That's
Wow.
the Eternal Champions, man. It's a great.
I-
It's still. A
I
good
actually
game.
had to write down my actual top 10.
Oh, I did that. Who was that? I think
Is
that
that
was
Marvel?
Sega Man. Sega Man had his top 10, and I wrote down my
Yeah.
top 10 as he was going through his, and posted my top 10 for
Yeah,
Xbox.
that's what I
update.
that's what I did. That's what I chose to
Mhm.
do. That
This
right
is the
here in
case
front of
I
my
made.
face too.
Yeah,
Monster.
Taking number 1, Halo.
that's that Saturn game.
Oh, see, yeah, that I know that game up there in price too.
Yeah, I mean, I had to make a case for it, but I mean, if I had it in the original, tall, the original case for it, like this one. You guys played this one, right? This is the Eternal Champions that was on Sega CD.
Absolutely.
So if it was
My Sega CD is in the garage.
Oh, you still have it, Zink? That's cool.
Yes. And I have that. Yeah, that's right. Because you put the Sega on top of the Sega CD.
Yeah.
That shit is in my garage.
Yeah. But
E-Rock said, Tuck said he'll join us as soon as his ox hooves and chitlins are done.
What's up, brother E-Rock? What's up, man? Shout out to my brother E-Rock. What's up, brother? Yeah. But let me ask you guys a question, though. Honestly, before we leave, I want everybody to just say their opinion on it. Everybody on the panel, man. And where do you see? Do you think Sony will be around for the next 10 to 15 years, or do you think they might go the wayside of like Sega? What do you guys really think about Sony? Some people say they think that Sony will be gone in 10 years, or give or take 15 years. What do you guys really honestly think about? Do you think Sony's going to be able to hang in there, or do you think they'll go to the wayside like what happened to Sega? What do you think?
Go ahead, Unlimited or T Reaper. Go ahead, see what happens.
Yeah, hey man, I don't look. 10 years, a lot can change, and who knows? But I don't see it, man. Look, the only reason why the PS5 exists is because they got lucky with the success of the PS4. That was going to be their last PlayStation, and so that tells me everything I need to know. They're one bad mistake from something like that unraveling their whole business model, because their business model for Sony as a whole just ain't sustainable. It clearly isn't. And not only that, they're in an arms race against Microsoft that they can't win by any measure of the imagination. They're losing mind share, as we see how quickly people turned on Horizon and Gran Turismo, that games that they were bragging about that was like the savior of gaming last year. Turns out didn't have an impact at all. So all I'm saying is Microsoft did a great job shoring themselves up for at least the next decade or two by buying and owning all these publishers, games, engines, just thousands and thousands of talented developers. They got a lot locked up that Sony don't. And if you don't think, let's say, all right, right now the PS5 can't sell as much as the PS4 did in the same amount of time. So I don't think it's going to outsell the PS4 in general. And let's put Sony's lying aside when they lie about numbers, right? And just use your brain. The software isn't selling, as report about a month ago about how the PS5 in Japan, those games just sit on sales and software ain't selling. So software ain't selling. even like it did with the PS4. They don't have the they're losing the mind share. Now that there are a lot of gamers who see that this thing called Game Pass under the company that owns Bethesda, Call of Duty, Halo, so they're against the monster, and things just keep spiraling and spiraling and spiraling. Sales don't matter because consoles don't make money. The software does, as far as your main breadwinner.
Yep.
So they can't brag about the sales. They don't have the level of engagement that Xbox game have. Like I said before, Sony would kill to have 20 million players play Horizon, other than however many bought it when it came out, right? They kill for that, but they don't have that. So they've got nothing. They got nothing on the metrics that matter that shows any long-term ability to sustain as games are getting more expensive. Hardware becomes less relevant, if you will, to the overall way that we consume gaming, in an age of digital services and stuff like that. So, hey, man, I'm saying it, man. I just don't see it. Unless they get extremely lucky again, like they did with the PS4, they're one bad generation away from going the way of Sega circa 2000.
Very, very well said, Unlimited, man. Very, very well said, man. I can definitely put facts to that, man, and very well said, brother. What about you? What about you, T Reaper? What do you think Sony will be around in another 10 to 15 years, or do you think it might actually fall to the wayside like Sega and like have to just put their games on other platforms, or go to PC completely? What do you think, T?
If they can maintain and stay out of debt or more debt, then who knows? But I say 5 years max.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, man.
But we'll see.
All right. Hebot, my brother Hebot, man. And
Yes,
Hebot, what do you think, man? Do you think Sony will be around for another 10 years, Hebot, or even give or take 15 years, brother Hebot? Your honest opinion, do you think they can possibly fall to the wayside and succumb like Sega did, and their games go to other platforms or PC or anything like that, Hebot? What do you think, man?
Well, I mean, everything that is dominating in life, as we all living for a long time, we all know comes usually to an end. I mean, there's very little things that still exist that are still on top, and even those things are in jeopardy in some ways, like Disney, for example. That we know of, and things like MGM and 20th Century Fox and Paramount and all those big conglomerates. I mean, for Christ's sake, even Apple at one time was about to go bankrupt, and if it wasn't for Microsoft, it would have been gone, right?
Yeah.
So, Sony, the only thing that really keeps them afloat is the perception. Like I've said before, and as stupid and as dumb as it sounds, it really is perception, because casuals, they just follow. They don't care what is right, what is better, what makes sense, what doesn't make sense, what's your value of your money, what it doesn't. And we just seen that with Elden Ring. Elden Ring completely proved that, because to this day, nobody was a Dark Souls fan, right?
Mm-hmm.
None of their games did well. They did okay. They're considered very niche. All of a sudden, this game gets all this hype. It's going to be the next thing since Jesus. This is the new Legend of Zelda for adults. And all kinds of crazy rhetoric. And look, sold 12 million units, right?
Yeah.
And for a game like that, that's very high, right? Even though if you look at it in perspective, being that it's on PC, Xbox, and it has 5 platforms on Xbox, and PlayStation has 4 platforms, whatever. It really not as much, but because of how niche has been through the years, it is high, which completely proves that people, if you tell them the sky's purple, even if they don't see it, they'll believe you as long as many people say, yeah, it's purple, right? Yeah. So that's what helps them, right? Now, realistically speaking, if they continue to go on the wayside with all these issues they're having, like the way that Horizon was broken, with the microtransactions now with GT, that's just going to keep giving them failure after failure. and a bad perception, eventually it's going to come to a point where they're not going to be making enough income where they can continue to sustain making hardware. Because as Unlimited pointed out, they said it themselves. Had the PS4 not did well, because it was so bad for them with PS3, they were going to go bankrupt or go only to the side of developing games only, which I think for them would still work, because since a lot of people like their movie style games,
Yeah.
they'll probably sell more games if they would put those games on other consoles and platforms and just be a developer, right? But the other thing that doesn't help is also the movie position. Like with them, a movie will come out, something like Spider-Man, that even though it's good, it's not as good as people make it seem to be, and it makes all this money for them, right? And that helps them. So that's another angle that you got to pay attention to. But if it continues to go where they keep failing with some of their big hitters because people are just either getting tired of it or they're just not falling for their anti-consumer practices anymore, I can see them not lasting no more than maybe 5 to 6 years. Because remember, the economy's bad, right? The economy's very bad. Things are getting more expensive. These are getting higher. A gas tank, as you see, is $82. A game is $70. By next year, probably be $80. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And they need to charge as much as they can, however they can, because they don't have Microsoft money. They just don't. So, it wouldn't surprise me if they lasted only 6 years, but if they last 10 years, that's probably more realistically, because it does take, like the boys said earlier, right? And a couple of months back, the only thing now is just going to take them a little longer to go away. But if Microsoft did some killer move like, no, we're not pulling Call of Duty on your console, then I guarantee you it would die a lot faster.
Oh, yeah.
Damn, sky falls straight through the ground.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because all those followers that follow it on that platform would automatically jump ship because they don't have loyalty. They just follow what they like. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? So that would definitely help them go. But Microsoft is not about executing people execution style. They just do things methodically and pace themselves, and they don't really see them as a threat as much as we want to say that they are. They don't. So they just see it. We're just having fun playing with these dudes. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, it is what it is, but realistically speaking, I guess I would say maybe 10. But if things keep going against their favor as the way they have been lately, I wouldn't be surprised in 5 years, maybe 6. They have to close shop and maybe just stay at the wayside of development only, like either movie development or game development, which would probably work out better for them, to be honest.
Yeah.
To be quite honest. That's my honest opinion on it. I'll say.
All right, Hebot, man. Hey, man. Hey, very well said, Hebot. Very well said, my brother. Now, my brother, Outer Zinc, before I let Outer Zinc go, I want to say something. I was very hurt when what happened between the Dreamcast and what Sony did. When the Dreamcast went out. I told Hebot this story. The Dreamcast magazine went away, and when PlayStation, I believe it was PlayStation 2, came out and just took over everything, I was hurt. I was hurt about that. I was hurt about Sega going away and Dreamcast being their last system. And the guy, called me and said, "Hey, we noticed that you're a big Sega fan and you like the Dreamcast, but now that the Dreamcast is not going to be no more, we want to offer you the the PlayStation magazine." And I told the guy on there, man, on the phone, I said, hell no, I'm waiting for the original Xbox to come out. No thanks. And then I hung up the phone on him. You know what I mean? So that being said, Outer Zinc, man, where do you think Sony will be in 10 to 15 years, man? Do you think Sony will still be relevant? Or do you think it'll fall to the wayside, like what happened to Sega, where they had to stop making consoles and put their software on other systems to maintain staying in the business and making money. So what do you think, Zinc? Do you think Sony can survive another 10 to 15 years, or what do you think?
Absolutely not. And Unlimited started off great, and he said they're always one mistake away. And think that I forgot this shit when I'm listening to all of these people talk about the doom and the gloom and the mismanagement of Microsoft. Hey, Sony, people act like we don't remember that Sony laid off half of their entire staff before the PS4 launch. Selling buildings, they were selling assets just to stay afloat. They act
Yep.
like we forgot this shit. They laid off half of everybody at every fucking studio they got. I haven't forgot that shit.
Mm-hmm.
So, like Unlimited said, they're one mistake away. And people talking all of this shit, these YouTubers and the media are talking this shit about, oh, Microsoft doesn't have a game until the holiday season. Well, that's when you make most of your money, dummy. Okay? So, what did Sony do? They shot their wad with Horizon Forbidden West, dud, dead. They shot their wad with Gran Turismo 7, dead. And remember how great Sifu was? Like this shit is Cuphead or something. That shit dead. Okay.
Yeah.
Then in the channel said VR2 is going the PSVR is going to sink Sony. I hope Sony hurry up and make this shit. That is not a money maker, it's a money pit. So when I see that bullshit hit the store shelves, I'll love it. There's no way in the world they can make their money off of that garbage. And Hebot over here talking about perception. That's how Sony is surviving. They have everyone in the media writing all of these nice articles
Right.
about Sony and all of this bullshit they have, but it's not producing any money. So
Yes.
Gran Turismo 7 has to make money, like Hebot said, at every turn they have to. They're trying to make money. They're trying to create a Forza. They're trying to create a Halo. Just like Jack Tritton said, dude, I wish we had a Halo. Yet you have people on what's the Best Bot's name? What's his name?
What you talking about? Kid Smooth?
Kid Smooth. You got these clowns on Kid Smooth's podcast talking about what Halo can't do, and it's all perception and how they don't have any games. Hey, you blew all your games. And no, they talked about how much they love Gran Turismo, how much, oh, I just beat Horizon Forbidden West. It's over. You have no recurring profits. So how are you going to make money now that these two games are dead? What's
Yeah.
going to happen 4 years from now? They're going to say, oh, they sold 20 million copies. Yeah, 20 million copies giving this shit away for $5 and $3. That's how you're going to make your fucking
Yeah.
money.
Max.
And like Hebot said, this shit is not sustainable. And I told you guys before, this is what pissed me off. Destiny is going to save them a little bit because they'll have a little bit of money coming off the back end because that game produces reoccurring profits. So that pisses me off, but they don't have anything, like Hebot said, that's sustainable. And, you know, what's not sustainable is Sifu, Horizon Forbidden West, Gran Turismo 7 is a shell of itself. So, you know, and they're trying to charge as much money as they can with GT7, and that shit's not going to work. And you see, Sony is already trying to transition into something else by their
You know,
automobile
there
industry.
also people think, others think, not to cut you off, I
Go
want
ahead.
to add to what you were saying. A lot of people think because of the Spider-Man 2 and Wolverine game that's gonna, keep them afloat even longer. But they don't understand is they don't own those properties. You understand?
Hebot, let me finish you off with that shit. I'm glad you
Absolutely.
said that.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
When you talk about, this is why Microsoft would not buy WB, because the most important thing is to own the characters. If we don't solely own the characters, just like Hebot just said, you have the privilege of making another Spider-Man game. You have the privilege of making the Wolverine game. You're not making any money off of this. Disney or whoever owns the property, they're making the money. You aren't.
Thanks.
That's why when Halo makes money, it all goes to Microsoft.
Yep.
When Bethesda
Absolutely.
make their money and ZeniMax makes their money, it's all going to Microsoft. And just like Unlimited's best friend, Colin Moriarty, Unlimited says Colin Moriarty likes to use big words. He's really stupid. He damn sure is stupid. Colin Moriarty said, I like Sony's strategic moves more. Sony, they invest in companies. You dummy. You leave wealth to your family by giving them property. You own nothing, Colin. You don't own shit. So
Mhm.
where's your money coming from? You paying to be a part of the club and you getting a little bit of money back. Instead of owning all of this shit, you're not getting your return. Where are your reserves for returns, like Ballmer said? And the last thing is like damn, I lost. I was going right into something, but that's it in a nutshell, dude. You know, so like that's what I was gonna say. And people say how smart Sony is, like that idiot Colin. Sony was trying to get secret rights to Starfield, trying to get the rights to Starfield, getting the marketing rights to Starfield, so they could do their super play
right.
move that Hebot talks about. Perception. We want you to think Starfield is only going to be on the PlayStation. Microsoft said, well, we're going to throw this surprise move at you. We're going to buy ZeniMax that owns all of this shit. We're going to take all the profits and we're not putting this shit on your system.
You know
Done.
What's interesting, and I don't know how I never thought of this before. You know, it's funny how Microsoft honored, you know, how they honored Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo,
Yeah.
but they were not going to let Starfield pass. I find that interesting how the one game they decided to protect and make associated with Xbox was Starfield.
Mm-hmm.
But that's because they know the numbers more than we do. They know that these Bethesda games, the mainline Bethesda games, and this is the mainline Bethesda game, their first new IP in 25 years, as I believe Todd Howard said.
Mhm.
Those games are those are the games that people play for like 10 fucking years. And you have the modern community and people who still playing and all that stuff. So I can't believe I never put that together until Zink said it. And I knew that Sony was trying to make Starfield a time exclusive, but
Yep.
somehow Microsoft decided to honor of all the things they're like, all right, cool, we'll give you Ghostwire Tokyo, we'll give you Deathloop for a year, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But Starfield, no, that's where they drew the line, and that was the right move.
Mm-hmm. And like Channel said, I'll be popping bottles when Sony go away. Hey man, look, that's an understatement. Okay, I mean, I'm not a party guy anymore. I'm too old for that shit. But I'll throw a party that day. Even if I'm the only motherfucker show up, I'm throwing a party that day. And to close this shit out,
you ain't gonna be by yourself. Fuck all that.
hey, dude, I'm gonna clown that day. And like Sega Man said, dude, they used to call me Sega Zink, dude. I mean, Sega was it for me.
Yeah,
And
man.
I remember Tommy Tellerico and the other guy that has a show, Victor Lucas. I think
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
his
but
name.
Tommy Tellerico, he
Electric
saved
Playground.
through, but Victor Lucas, he turned to a clown too. He's another one.
Victor Lucas, that's it. And I remember these jokers walking along these railroad tracks doing this show. We used to watch that show all the time.
Yep.
Man, I'm not.
Electric Playground, I think it was called.
There you go. And I'm like, hey man, and we watching this show.
Sign up for Amazon
and my-
Music Unlimited Family Plan, which lets you choose
Uh,
from 90 million songs.
Okay,
signing up for Amazon.
Hey,
It's free for
Calm
30
down.
days,
Yeah,
and
calm
you
down.
automatically
Yeah.
charge $14.99.
Doc don't give a fuck.
all right, Alexa. That's it, Alexa. Calm down.
Hey, so they had this show, right? And I'll never forget, because this was all killing of the Dreamcast. I'm gonna wait on Sony. They're gonna be better than Sega Dreamcast. They're gonna have wireless broadband. I'm gonna wait for that. Man, destroyed Sega. So it just killed it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to that day. You damn right. I just wish they didn't buy
I'm gonna
Bungie.
be right there with you. Some Ciroc.
Be damn clown, boy. It's gonna be a circus that day.
E-Rock
Guess
can't wait either. E-Rock can't wait either, man. You know?
Mhm.
You
I
know
was
what?
like, yo, why y'all celebrating that? Y'all call yourself gamers. Y'all shut the fuck up. You have no idea.
Hey man,
no
somebody
fucking
else will
clue.
come. Somebody else will come in and do it better. Because what I don't like is all of the bullshit that happens. So Sony can get the fuck out of here and take their toxic ass community with them. They made us this pissed
That's a
off,
crime.
dude. And like Channel also said, Sony couldn't even stand their home base Japan because they knew they were bullshit. They delisted those jokers from their own freaking stock exchange. That's how bullshit they were.
Yeah.
Out of here, man.
Well, you know what?
Started
Speaking of
this
that,
shit.
isn't that wonderful too? how we finally get this real information that was going on, even though it's something bad. I'm not talking about it that is wonderful from that perspective.
We understand.
But it's wonderful how we finally get some real, clarity on what was going on with Moon Studios. Because if you guys remember a few months back or last year, Microsoft's stupid. Why didn't they buy Moon Studios? They made Ori one of the best games at Xbox. Oh, remember that bullshit?
Yeah.
And they were like, it's Microsoft so dumb. And then people were asking, well, why y'all didn't want to buy? Y'all didn't do a deal with Microsoft, and they were coming out, we want to stay independent with that bullshit. And now we find out that there was some dirt going on, right?
Yeah.
Which is wonderful because once again, the same way they did with Bungie and 343s, the same way they did with Fable Legacy, the same way they did with Scalebound, Microsoft comes out that they had nothing to do with the fucking stupidity of what was going on, and that's why they didn't do no moves in acquiring and making a relationship long term. Because they
I'm
didn't
glad
like
you said that.
I'm
glad you
glad
said
that
he
shit
bought.
came out.
You know what, he bought? Let me go ahead and limit it because I won't forget what I was saying.
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
Because what I was about to say is what I remember is when the head of Moon Studios went out there and said Microsoft needs to make all their games.
Stole my shit.
My bad,
Yes, sir.
but that's what I remember.
Yes,
That's what I
sir.
remember. And so when that dropped, I was like, oh, okay. So that's what he meant when he wanted
Yes, sir.
all the games off Xbox.
Now we know why he was due to her because he's oppressing people at his job.
What's up,
They were
Graphic
trying to
Man?
shame Xbox team members and shit, and all that dumb shit. According to what it's saying, now could it have been a lot less serious than it's coming out to be? Absolutely.
Hold on, let me go back to you, Hebot. Let me go back to you before Unlimited stole my thunder there. When you were talking about why did Phil buy Moon Studios? Because Phil, it's like sometimes, man, when I like I said, I stay in a predominantly white community. I know who's racist and who's not. Okay, I mean, it's just the feeling that you get, because I've been here long enough. All right. Phil Spencer knew there was a rat in that company. He was like, I'm not going to buy these jokers. It's too many people that's full of shit. Just like the initiative. Gallagher knows it's a lot of people that's full of shit. It's a lot of people against me. Either I'm going to fire them or they can get the fuck out. Okay. That's why he didn't buy Moon Studios. And just like Unlimited said, what happened? Soon as everything died down, Microsoft should put more of their exclusives on other consoles. Why don't you say that shit about Sony?
Yeah,
Right.
Why don't they put,
you never hear that. You never hear that.
We should.
don't
Why don't
ever hear that.
why don't they put any of those Naughty Dog games on Xbox? It would make more sense, right? Exactly.
Get out of here, man. I'm glad he saw through the bullshit.
Well, I'm glad that they came out winning again because every time they say, it's Microsoft's fault, it's because they don't know how to establish the studios. They don't know how to keep them together. They don't know how to nurture them. They don't know how to treat them right.
Cultivate.
Motherfucker, get the hell out of here. They fucking helped them build that goddamn game. They helped them build that engine, spend $6 million on the first game because that's how much it cost, right? They had complete success, not only on console, on PC, and then when it went to PlayStation and went to fucking Nintendo, all you heard was freaking crickets. It didn't make no money. Or not Nintendo, not Ori, but at least, Ori, when it went to PlayStation, what it sold, it didn't sell anything. Nobody bought that shit over there. Nobody bought that motherfucker.
Yeah.
The same way they didn't buy fucking Cuphead. Cuphead did so-so on Switch.
didn't.
That was it.
They did.
And it was them. They were port begging. They're like, Microsoft,
We
can we
supported
please
Cuphead.
put it on the Switch? We just want to make some extra money. Can we please put it there? It was begging. After Microsoft helped them when they fucking refinanced their house supposedly 3 times and they got that money back and they want more money after Microsoft the one who saved their ass. I'm glad that they're not funding their next game. Fuck out of here.
Same, man.
You're bugging. Shit.
Hey, man.
Well, I bet Sega Man won't close out a show with a question again. That shit won't happen no more.
Yeah, man. But before we go, I'll say my piece on it. I'm going to agree with the brothers on the panel. I just don't see them being around too much longer, man. I'm not trying to throw shade, because I know there's people out there that really like Sony and their games, but their business practices, the way they treat their consumers, all the frigid stuff that's going on in the company with the women and just everything. I don't see them being around. I don't see them being around too much longer. Yeah, you hear other channels talk about like the girls on Grown Women Gaming. They were saying, oh yeah, the VR too, but it still has wires. I'd rather still have the Oculus. I don't think the VR is going to keep them alive, man. The VR.
I think the VR is going to hurt them economically again. It's
Yeah,
going to put another hole in there. I think. I have a feeling.
I think you're right, Heba. I really do. I know what they're trying to do, but it's never going to ever beat the Oculus Rift. If you want to play VR, you play Oculus Rift. It's real VR. It's just signed, sealed, and delivered VR, man, is the Oculus. My son has one. 100 son plays on his also. I mean, if I'm going to get a VR or try a VR experience, I'm going to try the Oculus Rift. I'm not going to get a PlayStation VR because it's not full VR to me. I think the Oculus is. So like I said, I don't see them. I'm agree with the brothers on the panel. We're going to get out of here, but I don't see Sony staying around if they keep doing what they're doing, man. I think they're going to go the wayside, sadly, like Sega did. So we'll have to see, man.
Well, the biggest difference, they deserve it. Sega didn't deserve it.
Yeah,
You see
they
what I'm
do
saying?
deserve
That's
it.
the
Yeah, they do deserve it.
Sony deserves it. Sega didn't deserve it.
All right, guys, we're going to get out of here. It was a great show today, guys. I want to thank my brother Hebot for coming on, man.
I'm lucky I was able to stay on this phone.
Yeah, I know, but you did, man, and you sound good. You sound good.
Yeah,
after you
I'm
got
glad
it all
you came
straight,
back.
man. So let's let Hebot do his sign out, guys, and then we'll get going. So Hebot, my brother, tell everybody in the chat and the people where they can find you, man.
As always, guys, with my gentleman brothers here in the Alpha on Saturdays, with my brother E-Rock and the gentlemen's on the Exile every 2 months every 2 times of the month. Obviously on my YouTube, Hebot. When I do We Got Next, when I'm in good health, with my brother 100 over there, Day One Podcast, when I get the invites. And on social, you can find me on Instagram under C_respect, on Twitter under hashtag or at most historian with a capital M and an H. And Nintendo Switch, same thing. Hebot 8, Xbox Live, Hebot 8, and the PSN network. Alpha from Sky. Yeah. Those. Oh, and on Twitch. If you want to see me stream sometimes, it's he_bot8, powerful gamer, all lowercase, all one word, except the H is capital.
Nice, nice, man. And I want to give a shout out to Channel. Channel was very on fire in the chat today, man. My man was going off. Channel was going off, man. Big shouts out to Channel, man. And Smitty Smith was in the
He's
building.
always on fire. Like Other Zinc used to be on the chat. He's always like that. Very interactive with a lot of good points.
Yeah, man. He was. And then, Mr. Kima came in. You know what I'm saying? Killer Chauvin 82 was in the building. JCon 79 joined us. You know what I mean? Who else we had? We had 100. 100 came and slid on by. And like I said, Smitty Smith. Retro Fusion Gaming, he come and was hanging out with us today. It was a very good show. Our brother E-Rock came in, and at the last moment, a graphic god popped in here. I think he said, "I smell Sega," so he had to come in here, man, because that's one of his favorite too. The Sega Genesis is he told me when we talked one time that was one of his favorite systems. All right, guys, we're gonna get out of here, man. You guys have a good night, man. You know how we do it, man. Come and check us out on the Exile, on We Got Next when we have it, the Unlimited Truth on the Alpha, and on the Exile. And, when Tuck gets himself together.
Oh, yeah, that's another thing with Unlimited. Also, with Unlimited Truth, you can find me there too, Dave.
That's right, the Unlimited Truth, man. And on the lines, then when Tuckmaster ain't eating blueberry muffins, come and check us out on our brother's channel. You know what I'm saying? Intermedia Gaming with your boy 100, man, with Day One Podcast, man. All right, guys, we're out of here. Peace and love, guys. Be safe, and we'll see you next week. Peace.
Peace.